Thank goodness we have liftoff here on Saturday. Another Racing Post Live. Another version of Dave Orton sitting with you this afternoon. Which version it will be depends on how the results go, of course. This is an interactive show. Let us know you are out there in association with Betfair. Got a great panel for you today. Pandemonium in the studio so far. Ascot and Weatherby. The jumpers come out to shine. Decent card in Newmarket, of course. Let us know if you fancy anything there. We'll be keeping an eye on Galway as well. Who wins the Charlie Hall? That's our final race. What a belter. That is. Like and subscribe if you're wondering how to get your shout-outs in. You can do it on Facebook Live as well. Anything on Twitter. Hashtag RP Live. There it is. The graphics appearing as if by magic. Will and Dave in the studio today. What can possibly go wrong? Well, quite a lot when you're looking down the barrel that I am at the moment. And I tell you what, it's like all of a sudden it's like she's never been away. Trust me, it's like she's never been away. Natalie Green, the Racing Post Live Queen, former Racing Post Live Queen. How are you, Nat? Honestly, it's like a ghostly vision coming back.
I've already got the giggles.
Oh, what? I'm not surprised listening to the chat we were having a minute ago.
Slight tears at my eyes from laughing, which is a good start. I know. People are going to think that when I sat in your seat while you were at that wedding for Goodwood...
It was so bad.
That it was so bad that I messed it up so royally that I've not been invited back. But through train strikes and various other situations, that's why I've not been back. So yeah. I tell you, it is so good to be back in the studio.
You have actually been a bit excited about coming in, haven't you?
Oh, I can't wait. And, you know, jumps. I love the jumps. So
yeah,
I'm kind of ready for it. It was a long, flat season, I felt.
Yeah, you were actually one of the first people towards, I think, like September, you were like, I'm ready. I'm
ready. And I think it's been nice. As an Aintree last Sunday, straight on the back of Cheltenham, and that kind of felt like we were getting into it a bit. But then weather conditions have been weird, haven't they? It's been a strange October, but I'm kind of excited to see what's coming. Like, we're still seeing these seasonal reappearances. So what I would say about today, Dave, is it's not always the best horses that will win. Remember, we're very early in the season. It's the horses on the day, on the track, and it's very much going to be my sort of theory. Yes, that's it.
MO, modus operandi, if anyone's curious about that. Well, questions in for Nat. Ask her where she's been. Actually, don't be going there. We've actually got a show to do. But I'm thrilled to say that Robbie Wilders comes back in as well, the anti-postman.
Cheers, mate. Good to be back.
Great to have you back.
Off. Yeah, I had a couple of weeks annual leave recently. Enjoyed myself.
Yep.
Where'd you go?
Back now. I didn't do an awful lot, actually. Went back to my parents, sort of just chilled in London, just going to the cinema.
Sometimes you do need to just take a little couple of weeks out. Did you keep an eye on racing and all that sort of thing?
Yeah,
Are you one of those?
Yeah, well, I don't check my emails and stuff, but yeah, I was watching some horse racing for sure. Not every day.
No.
Because I do like to get
overkill.
Yeah, exactly. I've got other interests in life.
Are you now firmly in jumps camp as well?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, after the futurity, I think it's gone, basically. Although Breeders' Cup would be, you know, you tie
next
back in
Saturday, Breeders' Cup, of course. Strong European representation as ever. Is the best horse in the world. Baaeed is the best horse in the world, going in that flight line, of course. Talking of Baaeed, I'm thrilled to say that the drone pilot comes back in. It's like that. You have the man who shot Bambi's mother, don't you, in the film, however? You're the man who could have laid Baaeed. You did everything but press the button. It was your big moment, man. You bottled it.
I did press the button off camera, but I couldn't have made it any more obvious in multiple clips.
Yeah, it was a big show, that, wasn't it? Great to have you back, Marc.
Yes,
deputising for Barry today. Barry's been absolutely knocking him in left, right and centre. It's still the Injured Jockeys Fund in the wonderful month of October. We play for charity, of course. If you don't know, every single race we play. You don't have to play in every single race, but this is the place you want to be if you want some raucous reaction in between races. We know that some of you can't get the pictures out there. We've got loads of international viewers. I've seen some people saying they're in Dubai at the moment and things like that. Do let us know how you're spending this warm. I think the sun is shining at Ascot right now as Goshen comes onto the track for the 1:30. That's our first race. We go up to 3:35. Do let us know you're out there. And, of course, Marc will play a trade for Betfair, basically. Every race, he will tell us whether he thinks one will lose, playing late, placing late. We do sportsbook action as well. Going to learn plenty along the way. One of the best judges in the business. We know you're laid by Eid, so, but, you know, it's all about what happens on air.
Why did you want to lay him, mate? I didn't watch the show, but why did you want to lay him? Because I couldn't have seen that happening.
Didn't rate the form, made it very clear. Hadn't raced against a Group 1 animal. Ground was a concern. Trip.
Yeah, I think.
Well, we all know what happened now, don't we? That's in the past.
Mission form's no good.
And Baaeed goes off to be hopefully a great stallion now.
Vindicated, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, not just him.
How much more higher would his covering fee be if he did win that championship?
Well, I don't know. There's all these
I
questions.
don't know. It's just interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a bloodstock man, but
Then
we are
it can
moving
go
on.
up once his progeny. You need to get the first batch out the way, and then if his progeny is good, then they can put it up.
I'm trying to move on. Everyone else is still very, very heads up about it, of course. William took it like an absolute pro, didn't he? But we could go on and on about that. Who are you with today in the biggie, the Charlie Hall Chase? A lot of people moan in the jumps game, of course, about horses basically avoiding each other. I think we can say most of the races that we've got today, there are going to be some great clashes, in particular the Charlie Hall Chase. Marc, let's just come to you very quickly about that. I sort of stumbled there a little bit because I can't believe that Ahoy Senor is now clear fav, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously it looks like a match, but it doesn't being Braves Man's game.
Does it?
Senior on paper, but obviously you got Tizzars at the top of the bang. I know, Natalie, you think, Ahoy Senor, it could be another day. But yeah, clear favourite. I think it's going to be very, very competitive. Obviously has that form of Braves Man's game already, Ahoy Senor. But really looking forward to it. It looks a really good race.
If you were part of the bullet email from the anti-postman earlier in the week, you would have been told to take 3 places about Sam Brown. And we're talking about nap time, aren't we?
We're talking about nap time, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go too into the case just yet because, you know, got plenty of water on the bridge first, but I do like the horse. I mean, I thought his race was going to cut up anyway. There's only 5 runners. I think he's got a lot in his favour, to be honest.
He's 5-4, 2.2 on the Betfair Exchange right now. Quite surprised there's such a big difference between Brave Man's Game, currently 3.1. Win My Wings would have been a place lay for me. Definitely.
Yeah, she's a non, isn't she?
Yeah, no.
That's a shame Secret Investor's out as well because it is making... You know,
Right,
if you don't like the big two, it's making it tougher to get involved now.
All right, we sort of set the scene a little bit, but we are approaching the first race at Ascot with one of the Marmite horses in training coming out. Are you with Goshen? Are you against him? We'll find out shortly, but we also put on a lucky 15, don't we? There's a multiple offer, Marc.
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
Yeah, we got an offer on the Betfair Sportsbook right now. You bet £10 on racing multiples and get a £10 free bet on racing multiples. So I've got a lucky 15 here. I was trying to raise some money for charity. So first leg, we've got Hall Lane in the first race at Weatherby, the 150. And then we've got second leg, we've got Tanganaya, I think, 20-1. And then we've got Before Midnight, 5-1. And we've got Major Dundee, leg 4. 11-2, £1 each way, lucky 15 pays 14,000.
Oh, 14 bags, that'll do, isn't it?
I think this one has legs. Obviously, there's got a lot of small fields today, and obviously got 4 places instead of 3 in the 315. I think that's a really competitive race, Major Dundee's race. But I think
We're back on the lucky 15 vibe.
Yeah.
Barry did an each way double last week. The first leg went in night in the Horace Hill. And then he went for something in the Cheltenham race. It was a potence that didn't pick up, but hardly anything picked up in that race, did it? Let's face it, from the Charles Burns. But there's all different ways to play it. If you don't want to be playing, it's early days of the jump season, isn't it? And Nat quite rightly says it's about who's ready at the moment. You know, if you're not on track, it's quite hard to tell. Yeah. So if you don't want to play, you just play small. You can follow in Marc's lucky 15 there. And don't forget, if you bet £10 on a multiple, you get £10 back, basically. So that's what it's all about. You've got time to do that. Goshen in the first race, Marc Hryhorskyj, let's stick with you. I think he's going to win.
I think it was me and Robbie spoke just before we jumped on show about first couple of fences. The price is going to fluctuate, and if he jumps it well, he's probably going to shorten up. If he makes a mistake of it, very keen, he's going to drift. But he's clear on ratings, still give a lot of weight away. I just think this one can't be trusted. Especially first time over fences. I mean, last 2 runs at Ascot unplaced. Step up in trips a concern for me. How keen this one is. You know, it's not a massive field, but I think 6-4 in the Betfair Exchange right now is a silly price. You've got to be taking this one on.
You're laying him.
You got to be laying this
All
one.
winter, you're going to have Bide in your head. He's living rent free in your head.
Nah,
you think anything that comes out now, you've got to lay.
Nah, listen,
I can tell.
Go back to Goshen in the Champion Hurdle. It was even money for a place. I've never seen a worse bet in my life. To be honest with you. And
well,
it was
not as bad as the bet that me and Nat have done a show together because we have not.
Oh, that's why we're giggling pre-air, because I think that it's not our first time together.
I don't know if anyone that watches every week, if they can confirm that me and Nat have done a show, because I know full well we haven't together.
There's been some money
And I think
raised
we
out
have.
on this.
Back to the racing. Marc, continue.
I think you've got to take on Goshen here, or even a no bet. But just at the price, I think you've got to take him on.
For people that have played him already, because he has got a huge fan club. They say he scored really, really well. He's going the right way around. The ground's good. He arrives in pretty good form off the flat. I think in a small field, if he negotiates the first couple, he's going to have no problems giving away weight. I like Samarive. I just wonder if he's ready today. The market suggests he probably is. I heard Nichols speaking to Barry yesterday when they did a little piece together, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he's going to run, a tidy race." But everything is out of the handicap. You've got a horse here that you like, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been keen on Goshen because he's very talented, and I love it when I speak to the Moore family. You know, he has this like bit sometimes on home with like a brush on to stop him from pulling, but he doesn't do anything quirky at home. Anything. He's the most, Gary said, he's the most straightforward horse. It's just on the track, he gets buzzed up. He's got a bit of sweat about him on his neck. He looks very well in pictures. It's just one of my horses to follow is Cobbler's Dream. My problem with Cobbler's Dream is it going to be at a slightly later date? To me, it's crying out like a 3-mile chaser.
He's got Cheltenham Festival handicap all over him, hasn't he? Because he was the one that nearly beat the Irish.
Well, yeah, no, he was excellent. What are you talking about Martin Pipe, the second form? Yeah, he's just been a horse that caught my eye very early last year for Lady Jane Grosvenor, the owner. I think he could be a little bit special. Is this a bit early in the calendar? Potentially. But I also quite like to take on the favourite, and I'm going to. So I am going to take on Goshen. I think Goshen's very talented, but I'm going to stick with my heart and my gut and Cobbler's Dream. And if it's not Cobbler's Dreams today, he's still going to be one in my tracker.
This is the beautiful part about this. It's a great time to be a racing fan, isn't it? Because this is all about the project ahead, isn't it? I know that we don't want to keep talking about the Cheltenham Festival, but I'm sorry, guys. Every big horse out there, profile-wise, is working back from one day.
Yeah, and we don't know what Goal Road's done since a bit of a poor jumping round at Perth. I mean,
he didn't look like a natural at all, did he?
Actually, poor jumping round. It was just very novice-y. Ballooned a few, looked really green, but he's had over a month at home to school him. You don't know how much they're going to improve.
We know you're out there, guys. I can see loads of you talking about Goshen out there at the moment, and quite a few people with Nat as well. All right, let's have a little look. What is it? Commander von Rorek out there, one of our favourites, says, schooled well? No, Dave. Today is Goshen's first day at school. Love that, the Commander. Off and running they go. Look at that. Will comes on down the bottom, opens the show. I hope Goshen wins. No bet race for me. He is sweating, absolutely. And over he goes.
Lovely,
he's on the inside. This is lovely. And I'll tell you what, they've got a fair little lick into that. Jamie Moore, no better man to have on Goshen. Let's see. He likes to get on with it, guys, doesn't he? How's he going, Robbie, over the first?
Yeah, I was reasonably impressed enough by those. What's he in play?
He's not even favourite now. He's 9-2 in running now.
9-2 in running. Why, Marc?
I'll have a bit of that.
I think I don't know, I mean, the layers want to get him in running. I mean, he's sweating up, quite keen. He's not getting an uncontested lead either.
White, isn't he?
He's 11-4 now. Sam Marie's, 6-4 in running here.
We are keeping an eye on the ground for you out there, guys, as well. It's a sunny day in Berkshire, and will it be soft enough for some? I tell you what, I'm really boyoed about this. We've got the London Gold Cup coming up. We've got a cracking 2-mile hurdle for you as well. Gamble Road, Nat, again, making a weird shape over the first couple, and now Goshen gets his own way in front.
Yeah, Gamble Road's just got quite a sort of dishy action as well, hasn't he? Quite a round sort of knee action. Cobbler's Dream, I love this horse. Like I say, is it today? Sam just dived a wee bit, but I think after that Sandown performance, Sam did look like a really good chasing prospect. And I think actually at the moment he is looking pretty smart, in a lovely position, really still on the bridle. He's quite pleasing to the eye in these early-ish stages. He's jumping well.
Well, this is a typical Nichols horse, this, Robbie, isn't it? I mean, you just, whatever they do over hurdles, you do expect them to be a bit deadly over fences. He's jumped the best so far to my eye. What about Cobbler's Dream?
Cobbler's Dream's beautiful running behind, 4-1 in running. It's just a bit short on the BSP. But Goshen, I mean, is he going to get home as well here? He's very keen. I know that's his style, but he's not jumping that well either.
In comparison to these, he's given them all the best part of the stone. Yeah. He's got them off their incorrect marks. Paul yesterday said to Barry, of course, if you watch that when they did their bit on YouTube, he goes, £3 is nothing out of the handicap because it's all about jumping. So far, Sam Marie. Marc, we're going out to the far side. Give us a market update before we go back to Nat and Robbie.
Sam Marie's 6-4 in running, Goshen 11-4. He's not jumping that well, Goshen, either.
That 9-2 was potty though early doors.
Yeah, Cobbler's Dream shortening up here is 3-1. Got a really nice run on the outside for Jack Quinlan.
Is he a little bit keen?
Cobbler's Dream?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a really nice ride.
He wears the hood, doesn't he, the cross nose band?
Yeah, but giving him plenty of daylight, giving him time to look at the fences, which is clearly important, Dave, for a novice type of horse, and he just seems to be taking to his jumping well. I'm still pretty impressed with Sam Reeve.
Goshen looks beat.
To be honest.
He's beat.
He's outside of 4 now.
He's beat now in running.
Weird run. So basically, Goshen's given up the ghost in front quite easily here. So this, I guess he's going to. What price he got? Oh my goodness gracious!
50s and running on the.
These fences are unforgiving when you're not in a rhythm.
Yeah, you've got to get that rhythm.
You don't really see horses go from first to last this early and then come come back and win.
So Samareve now upsides. The one with chasing experience, Gamble Road. He has actually got the hang of things a little bit as he's gone on, hasn't he? Credit to him.
He's definitely warming up. He'll always draw the eye a bit funny because this dishing action. You know, look at his leg. He really does dish out, so it's never going to look completely beautiful to the eye. You see, he really got a different action to the others. But a typical Sammy boy here. Really enthusiastic and saying, come on, get to grips, and it's working.
Yeah, he's going very, very well at the moment.
He's odds on and running. Samareve's 1.76.
Goshen looks gone, guys, doesn't he, unfortunately? He just
gone,
hasn't fancied this at all, I don't think. It would even pull him up, he might do. And maybe looking at Jamie's body language there, is the tackle right? I don't know.
Why, do you think he's offside? He's
Slightly.
tilting,
Yeah, it's
so do I.
not quite right,
He looks
is it?
like, he just looks like he's unbalanced slightly. I don't know whether the tack slipped a little bit there to the
Today,
left.
not the day for Cobbler's Dream
He's
at the
pulling him
moment.
up, I think.
Yeah,
Much better from Gamble Road today.
Much better from Gamble Road.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to
We're
get
still
him round.
going, Dave.
Samareve looks the one to be on Marc, and the market has gone woo low.
Yeah, I think Road's still got a chance here, 15-8. Sam's not going to give up here. 2-1, 6-4. They can't really split them in running.
Yeah, this isn't Cobbler's trip, is it?
Depend-
This is too sharp.
He's £2 better off with that, so the handicapper says. I'll tell you what, we'll keep your eye on Cobbler's Dream throughout the season. Today's not today.
Look
He
for a
wants
3
further.
mile. Look for
Sam.
a 3 mile.
Absolutely.
Jump round.
Over they go, 2 out.
Oh,
Samareve is
Samareve,
gone.
you
There you
poor
go.
thing.
He was very, very tight in there. Let's hope he gets up all right. Lorcan Williams runs to him quickly. We'll keep an eye on that for you guys. It's Gamble Road to lose now. He didn't look like a natural whatsoever on his chasing debut.
Come on, Sammy.
He's got the last now. And again, he makes a funny shape over that one. Let's hope this isn't going to set the precedent for the day, guys, because that was a strange race to watch. If you went with the experience, if you went with the Twisters and Sam, you've got it all your own way. Was he a lucky winner, Marc Hryhorskyj?
I don't know. I mean, they were flip-flopping and running coming to that fence. Samareve, I mean, you don't know what that one would have found, was travelling well, but Gamble Road's game winner on the day was about BSP the whole way around, 5.6. Distress signals out for Goshen after 2-3 fancies. I mean, you couldn't back that how keen he was, how much he's sweating up. I mean, 2.47 was a crazy price.
Well, you say it all, the king after timer over there.
He's
Once again,
crazy
Bide
price.
in your head, isn't he? I can tell.
I should have placed laid him. He's a crazy price,
once
you know?
again.
Yeah,
I
listen,
can't
you've
help
got to take him on.
but think, though, that this is... I don't care how much air I blow up his backside. Sam yesterday, 3-time at Uttoxeter, he gave, honestly, a McCoy-esque ride.
Treble.
Yeah, I said that, didn't I?
3-timer.
Oh, treble. Shut up. And he's, honestly, for me, this was just... If someone else was on that horse, I don't know whether they would have got out of it what he did. Sam can just coax them, nurture them, know when to back off, know when to push, and then know when to give the horse confidence. I really rate him as a jockey. I think he's absolutely mustard.
They reacted like that on the Betfair Exchange as well, because usually one's sitting quiet and the other one's pushing. There'd be a bigger price discrepancy, but with Sam, they were much more closer because they're savvy on running, aren't
I
they?
mean, look at him here. He's just... And I hope Sam Reeve winded himself because of the way he
lots of
flopped
people
over.
out there, guys, asking if he's okay. As soon as we know, you will know as well, guys. He crashed into the rail, Nat,
I
didn't
hope
he?
he just winded himself because the way he flopped, it would have then gone... Ugh.
He jumped like a bunny up to that point, didn't he?
He was looked very good. Let's see. Hopefully he'll be fine.
There's your first jumping cliche of the afternoon from Dave Orton, with a winter of those ahead, jumping like a bunny. Well, drama in the first race. Only the 4 runs went to post, but what a dramatic heat. How low was he at the time, Marc? Remind me, Samareve, when he was coming to 2 out? I mean, he sort of had him cold, didn't he?
He's about jumping between 1.25 and 3's on. And obviously, as soon as his fillies went out and he's 101, the winner, Gamble Road. But you don't know what he would have found. Samareve, you don't know what he would have found. Gamble Road's, you just don't know.
We pop up to Weatherby in 10 minutes' time for the big winter day up there, of course. It's Charlie Hall Day. Huge day up there. We've got the Mayor's Hurdle, of course. We've got a couple of... I love the fact we're starting with the Novice Hurdle over there. We moaned a little bit, didn't we, during the summer when ITV started... I mean, this is what we do here by, guys on the show, if you're new to it.
What moan?
I don't know, some more than others, actually. I'm in a good mood today, though. I think we're all in a good mood today, though, even after that. I love the fact that we're starting with a Novice Hurdle.
Yeah, fancy one as well.
I don't know, because we moan a little bit about the fact when they put novices on, maidens on, and we're like, they're just cramming in these races. I think we started off with one at Goodwood. Actually, it turned out to be a very good race because the Foxes won it, a proper horse.
Yeah.
But I think it's different with jumps, is it? I don't know. It's so exciting this time of year, isn't it? When you see a maiden hurdle in Ireland, or you see, on Ascot, we've got some great bumpers later on. Does anyone fancy anywhere off the cards today? Let us know. We'll give you a word on it. Anyone got anything strong today elsewhere? Let's come straight to you.
Yeah.
You're not getting away with this.
No, and The reason I haven't put him up as one to follow, and I'm going to keep following Cobbler's Dream, is because my father-in-law owns it, so it's just a bit too easy, isn't it, to say? But it's a horse called Done It Head with Ian Jardine. He did have he's a big horse. He's a good sort of 16-3.
Running at?
He runs with quite sort of a high head carriage. He's quite impressive to look at. And Ian has very much said to us as a family, patient, be patient, be patient. He had a bit of a niggle, had plenty of time off. And Ian's basically the only one that rides him at home.
You've talked to me about this horse before.
Loves him and I love him, and we get almost daily videos from the Jardine yard. They're excellent. Val's excellent on the WhatsApp, so it really feels like you're involved. And I think I've watched Done It Head from just doing pieces of work to schooling to, you know, proper gallop sessions, and I'm really excited about him actually. And the race time is, because I knew I'd get it wrong, 16:53 at Ayr in the bumper. Done It Head, although it's not a big price. Was he 3s?
4-1 and 7-4.
All right, okay.
You've had it right off already.
Yeah.
You can find out how to trade out today.
And Traprain Law, another one of ours, the 15:45 at Ayr and the handicap hurdle. Traprain.
That's also been well backed.
Yeah, well,
you've gone for the double.
It ran with a choke out last time. It wasn't
Expensive summer.
Yeah. I'm go for the double. Done It Head, Traprain Law. And
I heard something in my ear then from one of the producers. Oh, okay. Summer Eve is up, we're hearing.
Perfect. Hopefully winded.
Good as gold. Happy days. And let's hope he's going to just get a nice little run into him around, so I don't know.
Confidence.
You need, because he's got a future, isn't he? And, it's
he's a nice horse, that.
That second last at Ascot, I've seen, you know, it's right in front of the stands, isn't it? If you're standing there, I've seen some pearlers of falls there.
Please, he's up. Maybe, yeah. Just hopefully just winded.
Yeah, and being with Nichols, he'll be, you know, they'll get him out again, I would imagine.
Travelled very well.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I
well.
wonder, he probably was slightly tiring at the time. I mean, and fair play to the winner, Gale Road, as well. Experience counts for everything, doesn't it? 150 then, coming up. It is a novice hurdle, 2 mile 3. With good cards yesterday there at Weatherby, wasn't it? We'll find out what the ground is like at Ascot with that race time, as much as we can, but it looked pretty easy on the eye, that ground, I think. We've got the 205 coming up. It's the road to the 2 mile handicap hurdles. I really like one there coming up. We'll find out what the guys like there in the 150 at Weatherby, starting with Marc and the Betfair trade, please.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at the betting here. There's one I quite like at a price, is Hall Lane for Alan King, Thomas Bellamy. It's around 16-1 on the sportsbook last night, knocked into 9s. It's 18s on the Betfair Exchange right now. I think that 5th at Kempton on Davy's solid run. Big sort, was green under pressure, will come on for that. First, second and third have all won since. Get You, Gumi, Khalib, Diamond Egg, won next time out. Stable, 21% strike rate, so that's going to be the bet. We're going to back this. We'll have 12.50 on at 18s, and then we'll have a saver in the place market. So we've got 12.50 to knock out 225. We'll back this in the 4-place market as well, 2.66, so roughly around the 13.8 mark. If this one's fit, I think it's going to be bang there. Probably have it in around the 9-2 chance, so I'm seeing 18s on the Betfair Exchange right now. I think that's too big a price.
OK. Is this in the Lucky 15 as well?
Yeah, listen, we'll take a place, but I think this is massively overpriced and the form's solid as well.
Why is he the price he is?
A lot of people might not think he's fit, but stable form, 21% strike rate right now?
Do you know what? I had this on the show last week. Kate put up Max Vega. I put him up on the preview show the day before. He was 50s on the
Massive
exchange going into that
price,
race. It put me right off.
I missed that one. I would love Max Vega. I put him up at Newbury last time he ran.
It just shows you, doesn't it? You've got to just back your opinions. That's the most important thing. Don't get confuddled.
He's a big eye catcher for me. Big sort, ran on strongly. Alan King's other horse actually won the race, but he was a big eye catcher, and he's a massive price today.
I'm hoping this kicks off a big half an hour for Alan King, because the next race at Ascot, I am very excited. Right, OK, so you know what Marc is doing. If you want, we know what he's like with his big prices. Those of you who like the Hryhorskyj out there, Devo joins the show. Happy Saturday, my man, and says, any harm in asking is my strongest fancy of the day. Head to head we go. Good timing, that one, that social out there. This is, of course, the only horse to have beaten Constitution Hill. So much written about that.
In a point to point, yeah, one of my warm fancies as well.
And they managed to get it into a handicap of a fair mark, didn't they?
Yeah, and realistically, I can't remember the price. What was 165 grand? Was it to buy? I mean, it's obviously not won hardly anything. This is a horse that surely they expect.
Well, he won this race last year with Soaring Glory. He went on to win the Betfair Hurdle, of course.
Yeah, if you were the owner of that horse, you'd expect, you hoping it's going to be late mature, I think, Dave.
He won the Betfair Hurdle, didn't he, from memory? Soaring Glory, I think he probably had. And then he went, anyway, I can't remember, but it's early days in the jump season. We'll get there anyway. It's coming up at 2:05. Anil Supali comes on. Back to this race. Learnt a lot. Right, OK, I'm going to take this one. Aidan Coleman, Ollie Murphy, team to be feared, I think, isn't it? And what's the other one? Autumn Way, was it? Each Way, was that right?
Autumn Return.
Autumn Return. There we go.
In this, I think.
In the what?
In this.
Is there an
For Ruth Jefferson. The 150.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Autumn Return, the second favourite. Yes, get it there. Learnt a lot. Massive eye catcher at Huntingdon. I know because I did the close-up of the Racing Post that day. And I was expecting a little bit more, Anil, to be totally honest. I wonder whether he'll be ready today, and I think he is a handicapper in the making. And with a handicap mark of 110, I'll be a tad disappointed, Anil, if he takes this out, because I think there might be a few that are better than that in here. But I get your point. If you probably looked at a couple of his races, he's quite a good, strong travelling horse, this. And Autumn Return, this is the one I fear. I mean, I'm putting up at a fav here, Joe Dead Answer for Ben Pauling.
Got some intel, have you?
I know they do quite like this horse, yes.
Yeah.
And he was, you know, showed ability when falling in his point, didn't he? So
I'm with you, actually.
you're with me.
Well, I saw Ben yesterday. I had a right good chat with him about his new Norton stables. And I'm not being daft here, by the way, because he is very lucky. It's a luxury to build a racing yard. You know, they're inherited, aren't they, or they're farms.
Is it a sort of dream?
Well, it's just such a luxury. I mean, Michael Owen did it at Manor House, but there's not that many specifically made racehorse yards. And when I mean made, all of you just Google Ben Pauling's new yard. It's insane. There's like 4 barns in a semicircle. Anyway, I spoke to Ben yesterday and I was like, how are things? He said, nah, it's just a dream. Horses that would be a bit sick after racing, or horses that wouldn't eat up, or horses that, you know, started to have a cold. He said all of those horses are just unbelievably healthy because it's a purpose-built yard with all this special ventilation. And Ben just said, honestly, he's never seen his horses so healthy.
Former assistant to Nicky Anderson,
Pretty
of
interesting
course.
stuff.
Cheltenham Festival winning trainer and still in his ascendancy, I think. And I like this chap. Keenan Woods is on. They were unlucky not to have a winner at Uttoxeter yesterday. And Paul Bakewell comes back on. I like Autumn Return for a place. Nice to see Ruth Jefferson get another decent horse. She's got that Sounds Russian as well, doesn't she? It looks a bit of a tool.
They do get decent horses though. Ruth does get decent horses. I'm not sure she always puts them in the right races, but you can't knock Autumn Return, can you? Made it that 2 from 2 under rules, because obviously it was a flat one before, but she won a point-to-point before that as well.
Yeah.
She could be very smart.
What do we think about mares up against boys under penalties, Robbie, and all that sort of thing?
It's not ideal, is it? But, I mean,
Well,
if the mare's good enough, then fine.
Nat's just said there, did she put him in the right races? This is quite ambitious. I mean, she
where
could have
else
gone
she
down
gonna-
any of the mares route, couldn't she, to
Yeah,
find
where
the
else?
penalty? And
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's probably not an amazing race, is it? Let's be honest.
Right, let's look at the history of it. So basically,
I was looking
Tamar
at
Bridge
it.
won it last
Yeah,
year.
there's not loads of
Ashtown
big
Lad the
names,
year
right?
before that. Decent horse. Redford Road the year before that. We all remember him. Prior to that, Oscar Rock won it for the Jeffersons as well. Tizards have won it. Henderson. This is usually a pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. But there's no real, like, horse better than 140s that's won it.
Like, there's no sexy bumper horse, you mean?
Yeah.
I suppose Ruth has seen enough decent horses through her father, through the times, that if she thinks this is good enough, then it's ballsy, but maybe it's...
Do you know the favourite's a
For a
bit
reason.
short here, 2.98, and you're getting, what, 4 to 1?
Yes, I do.
Jefferson's
Yes, I
on
do.
return. Yeah, it's too much price discrepancy.
And I'd
there.
also have that McCavity each way.
Yeah, it's a massive price.
I think it's the wrong price, McCavity. You know, that being really successful on the point-to-point circuit, yeah, sure, small point-to-points, what is it, Sheriff Hutton and the Yorkshire tracks, but they're actually decent point-to-points.
Yeah.
You Sheriff Hutton,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
actually
That's
really...
Easterby country,
they're
isn't it?
competitive.
Went at Aintree as well, that bumper.
That bumper at Aintree
yeah,
was-
stayed on strongly, lots left in the tank at the finish.
And doesn't this trip look absolutely ideal?
Yeah.
You're
Seven
getting
each
value basically if the first two don't perform. I mean, this has got a kind of each way look about it. You're hoping the whole lane will outrun the odds. Robbie, do you like one here?
I mean, I've gone for Prairie Wolf, tentatively.
When was the last time
Oh, I
Sue
think
Smith
I
had a
saw
winner?
that at Uttoxeter. Does that
To Ballyglass, who's pretty good, like
I
listed.
don't think
on
Sue
course.
Smith's had a winner for donkeys. you
No.
know.
Well, let's find out, mate.
What? Yeah, please do.
Oh, yeah, that was at Uttoxeter. That was decent, actually.
I saw something on a news thread at the Post here not that long ago. It might have been Chris Cook or someone like that who likes to sort of tweet about these things, doesn't he? But and we have these news desk threads here at the Racing Post. One of the boys of sort of racing here, basically. But I'm sure it was Chris that put up Sue Smith as not had a winner for a long
145
time.
days. It's quite a while, isn't it? 5 months.
Yeah, well, it is considering we're now fully into the jump season.
No, or a
Ideal.
summer jumper, though, really. That's not
The lane's
really.
very weak. 11s out to 20s on the sports book.
Which one?
The one I like, out of 20s, 30s on the Betfair Exchange.
All lane.
Yeah, listen, the layers might think this one's not fit. it's massively overpriced, like a place.
Okay,
I think the market's quite... I'd probably have it similar, but I would have, I think, McCavity is your bit of value there.
11s, yeah.
Do we love jumps racing at Weatherby? It's great, the hurdles track, isn't it? I love a novice hurdle.
I think
I just love it. It's
I
brilliant.
love
Great spectacle.
I love
isn't
how flat and galloping it is
exactly.
and fair.
It's basically the northern Newbury.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's the jockeys love it.
Do they?
Yeah, I love it. It's just fat, flat and fair.
And fat.
It's fat and fair.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're about to kick off at Weatherby, that's for sure. Reminder that our final race today, 8, we're bringing you 1 down already. What a dramatic heat that was. Indeed. Keep thinking back to Goshen. I'm going to try and find out some quotes. Of course, people will be buzzing around Gary at Ascot for us at the moment to try and find out exactly what happened with Goshen. But Galroad took it out. We know that Samarive is okay, thank goodness. We know that Cobbler's Dream will learn a lot from that. And be one to follow as it goes on. So look, we're alive, aren't we? I'm pretty excited about this. I think we're going to see quite a good horse here in this Joe de Dance and Ben Pauling 2 from 2 in the race.
Shortening up to 2.76, 350,000.
You like to see late money with this yard as well, I think.
I like to see Keelan as well because he's such a positive jockey. He's so enthusiastic.
Do you know what? I know people who he rides for, and he apparently is one of the best in the game at giving feedback to owners. That's what I keep hearing about him, Keelan Woods.
No, he's class. He's brilliant. Like I say, he's really enthusiastically minded. He sort of gives that energy through to the horse. Yeah, he's a good lad.
Shorten up even more. It's going around the 6-4 mark, queuing up to back this one.
Looks like he wants to be prominent, Marc, doesn't he?
Is there a belong queue? You know I love a queue, Marc.
They're queuing up to back this one.
All right, I'm glad. All right, good stuff. Good luck. Good luck wherever we want to play. This is a game you forget about the jumps. We haven't covered that many jumps races so far this winter here, and I think we can now. So the winter's coming because the clocks go back tonight, of course, don't they?
Oh, is it tonight?
Extra hour in bed, everyone.
It's ridiculous. We should argue that point later. It was for farmers, and they've got lights on tractors now. So annoying.
Amazing what you get here on this show, isn't it? The farmers have had it all their own way for 2
It
races.
will affect us in central London. But
all right, we're off and running there. Good luck whichever way you play. That's what I'm going to say. 150.
Going awfully slow.
Oh, this is a bit green in front.
What is that?
Is that Hurricane Bay?
Hurricane Bay.
Someone needs to take control of
That's
this race.
Bryony.
Yeah, that's not ideal, Dave. When you've got an absolute
That is what you would call raced freely, wandered to second.
snake.
That's a scary ride.
Favourite's 2.3 now. Joe the Dancer.
So what we are now guaranteed, guys, at least in a novice hurdle on a Saturday on terrestrial television, is a fair gallop, and that's exactly what we want.
Keelan, you're going to have to just what a good horse this is. This Joe the Dancer to not get so.
He's odds on and running now already.
By.
I'm thrilled with our position because look, we're going to settle nicely. He looks like a nice model of a horse as well, but they've still got how many? Around about 12 flights to negotiate at the moment.
McCavity's in a good position, Dave.
Who?
McCavity's in a good position there. Trying to keep out of trouble.
Tricky colours to see McCavity.
Really?
Well, that autumn return, where are we going with her? How's she settled? She's in midfield at the moment, isn't she? Let's call some of the others. Prairie Wolf as well. It's only going to be a matter of time, surely, between the Smith Yard gets it over the line again. Learnt a lot. A couple of you lot out there like that, don't they? Let's see how he's settling at the moment. He's okay as well. Aidan will be fancy. His chances of coming late on that one. An interesting horse for the Skeltons. You always associate the Skelton Yard, of course, with the Charlie Hall day with Chamblou last year. What a remarkable memory that was.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
And they've got Molly Ollie's Wishes coming up in the next race as well. But William of York, we haven't seen him for donkey's years, and basically he looks like a project in the work there. And more on tour. He probably is an all right horse in the making for the Kents. He's out the back having hand the wind up as well. Now, this one's gone clear, Marc. What's the market going to do with it?
Joe the Dancer, 1.8 in running, around 8 to 11 mark. I think it's short enough. Hall Lane's 50 chance. McCavity's 18s, but they're certainly reacting positively to the favourite. 1.7, shorten up even more now. Yeah,
and you can tell they're desperate for Bryony to keep there in the front, aren't they? She pulled down the anchor basically on this horse out in front, and it responded, Hurricane Bay, and she nearly went into third, but she's got him back running up again. McCavity keeps catching my eye.
He just runs a bit funny, doesn't he? He has his head a bit to one side. He's got his head quite up. He doesn't look beautiful, but I bet he'll probably stay there.
Yeah, I mean, he's an ex-point horse, isn't he? And
Yeah, he might just keep
was
going.
it the point bumper that he won? Yeah, of course, wasn't it? Of course, point-to-point bumper at Aintree that you get in the main meeting there.
If the favourite has ability and is fit and ready to go, no excuses from there. It's going to get
No problems about fitness, I don't think, at the moment with Ben's horses. He had one turn out yesterday called Unit 64 for the owners group. A friend of mine's got a leg in it, and they were slightly worried about how he'd go, but he lost by a nose, basically.
Jumping well.
Who's the commentator's curse there?
Commentator's curse there.
That's all right. One mistake. It's all right.
Let's look for your whole lane, Marc Hryhorskyj. Alan
All
King,
right.
big price.
Cantering in behind, but it might be difficult to get in here. You want to be in the front end here. It's a stop-start race.
Autumn Return's looking pretty good. What's happening?
Autumn Returns, 7-2 and running. The favourite's starting to drift now out to around even money.
Autumn Return's just there, just tracking.
Halleen's got a chance. Halleen stays. I think we've got a chance here.
I
It's
think,
about
the,
16s and
I
running.
think the Fav is just toying along with Keelan Woods at the moment. Autumn Returns would be the most topically named winner of the day, but she wasn't great there.
Close out, isn't she?
Yeah, right in the middle of the pack. Now Keelan is saying, OK, all right, here comes the home turn, catch me if you can, basically.
We're going all right on the inside, Hallleen. I think we've got a chance here.
You are, I'll tell you what, you are creeping up a little bit. What about you, Prairie Wolf boy?
Yeah, well, he's going all right as well, to be fair. But
If we're fit here, we've got a chance because this stays.
And
We've
just
got a
watch
chance.
Harry Skelton look. He's finally getting a tune out of William of York look, has learned a lot, starts to just have a little a push and a juggle. You don't, I mean, on soft ground at Weatherby, and they're definitely getting their toe in. You'd say it was good to soft ground looking at that at the moment. We'll get the race time, of course. You don't want to be too far back turning for home, basically, because they can get first run on you there, which, at the moment, the runaway Hurricane Bay still going out in front. I tell you, it was a
Come
big
on, Tom,
race,
let it
whatever.
go. Come on, Tom.
Oh, look at this. The drone pilot is starting to take aim. We've got another going with them as well, one of the outsiders, Tommy Cullen, but Paul O'Brien, Charlie Longstone. A massive price this is. But the favourite just about takes the control now.
Come on, Tom, let it go.
Grande Dancer, you're going to have to hope he stays all day.
Come on, Tom.
Because Tommy Cullen is attacking. I'll tell you what, look at the cannon. All of a sudden, this is ridiculous. It's got Tom Bellamy, of course, isn't it? He's going between horses as well.
Come on, Tom,
Hey,
let it
you
go.
might have got one here. The favourite,
Come on, Tom, let it go.
Hurricane Bay, what a talented
Come on, Tom.
animal this is, because it's coming back as well. 3 are going clear, and at the moment, I'll tell you what, the drone pilot's going to get it right. Who's Brady?
come on, Tom, let it go.
But Bridie Frost is trying to get him. Goes back to the inside there, you can see it. What's that one? Tommy Cullen? I'll tell you what, come on, we'd love this if the drone pilot gets it right.
Come on, Tom, keep it going.
Oh,
Are we gonna get
Bridie's coming.
No, he's
She's
going to be
coming.
really close.
Yes.
Well done.
that trophy over here, please, mate.
Well done,
The pilot
Marc.
takes aim. Bide who? The memory is gone. You can clear your mind now. Wow. I told you
pick.
there's something about
Jesus.
Marc and big price runners. And like Max Vega that we saw in the St Simon Stakes in Newbury last week, don't worry about the drift, the good judges say. And I'll tell you what, he travelled like a really good horse. First of all, draw breath. Well done, Marc Hryhorskyj.
Yeah, it's a crazy price. BSP 34s, 33 to 1.
Wow.
SP 22s. The form was there in the book. 3 winners out of that last race at Kempton. One quite cosy in the end, probably improved for the step up and trip as well. Favourites traded traded very short, travelled very well, but it was quite disappointing. That one's went as short as 2's on for £253.
Wow. He looked the real deal turning in,
You
didn't
wanted
he?
to see a bit more
No excuses.
guts,
no,
didn't
no
you,
excuses, yeah.
from the favourite, Joe the Dancer. You wanted to see him absolutely dig in, and actually when we call it going into the red zone, he couldn't get into it. And Hall Lane, what a good pick, because I honestly wouldn't have had that, and that is a brilliant price and a fantastic performance. Well done.
Neil Francis is well done, the drone pilot
Yeah.
out there. Let's hear from you who weighed in. And the multi is on the move.
Yeah, we'll see what we've got.
Do you get best odds guarantee for that multi
Yeah.
as well? Oh, yes.
Have you
See
missed
what
that
I'm
saying,
saying
the
on
multi on the move?
Bring it on.
I've never ever heard it.
Haven't you? You've been away
You've
so
not,
long.
I mean, you've not said that.
Is this a debutante?
I mean, that so it's drifted from 10s to 22s?
Yes, we've got a 22 to 1 winner.
How's our bet going
What's,
anyway?
what's
that I've
the
worked with
return
Wilders?
now? It'd be huge,
I
wouldn't
don't
it?
know.
Don't know, man.
I reached out to our senior producer to see if Kieran could
Oh, it
answer
doesn't. It hasn't
whether
registered yet.
Probably it's active.
They probably haven't thinking about it. I'm pretty sure that you have worked with him before on this show, but perhaps
We haven't.
no, we're not. Well, our senior producer Kieran
it's-
Sturwell was thinking he might not have done. So all of a sudden you've gone odds on, which is worrying. Okay, Neil Francis,
This is
yes, well
the
done, the
fact.
drone pilots. As I mentioned, Neil's out there. Good to see you, Neil. Let's hope you managed to nick a few off that. The jump season is fully alive. A couple of disappointments in that. Was a bit disappointed with how the favourite finished, but I don't know. There's a nice horse there. He was a bit buzzy, wasn't he? I'll tell you what. How well did Bryony's horse run?
I mean,
really
that was a schooling session, wasn't it?
Considering the stop-start, kept finding as well. Definitely one for the notebook. It was
Yeah,
great.
that's
Very
a talented
good.
animal.
You've got to put that in the notebook because
Yeah.
if that greenness, it can. I mean, and actually, you know, how does Bryony know she's not to know it was going to react like that? Like if it actually had a bit of a toe in and it probably wouldn't have been. It was obviously in front and just went, whoa, what
First time over hurdles for Hurricane Bay. That's Lucy Wadham, who of course has Hryhorskyj coming up.
She's nice.
So all of a sudden, we're all a bit keen on Hryhorskyj today. Very talented animal.
Very
We're
nicely
just going
bred.
up quality-wise now here on Racing Post Live this afternoon. Lift-off has occurred. Welcome if you're joining us this afternoon. I'm doing that because they love it when I say lift-off.
Lift
It
off!
says lift off an awful lot now.
I do say lift-off a little bit.
It's all right, man. You can have your catchphrases.
I don't want to be Tomo, as much as I love him. So I'm trying to watch out for the catchphrases.
No,
so,
but he doesn't have ones like that.
You think,
Hey, big fella.
You think we've gone, at least they've got lift off. We'd be loving. A quote from Gal Road before we go back to Ascot, if you don't mind, guys. Nigel Twiston-Davies says, that was very good. Happy days. Fortune favours the brave. You have to take on these horses. He's the only one who jumped the fence before, and he showed it. I've got nothing in mind for him, but you'd hope with, again, sorry to say it, but this is the truth. You'd hope with a horse with his class could go to Cheltenham. Okay, so lots of people moan about
Quite
this,
likes
but
Cheltenham,
we're
doesn't he?
now at the stage of life where we're just going to have to get our heads around it. All of the talented Saturday horses, are, unless they just hate the track, and unless, they're flat trackers and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're like,
If they don't like undulating.
right? He's the one that's not going to go there now. We know it works for him, right? And that's a breath of fresh air for a lot of people. But the narrative is, and I guess the new fun now with the jump season is to plot where they're going to go in between, plot the route, follow these horses. That's the beautiful thing about it, isn't it? And horses taking each other on. So well done. Looks like he's going to end up in a Cheltenham Novice Chase. A bit more experience, I think Nigel might want to get into them as well. So look, we're off and running. We've got a big prize winner for you already. I'm hoping that the drift on an Alan King horse pays dividends and lightning strike twice. You might have stolen my thunder, which I'm a big jinxer,
You're not
and
on
you
the
might
double?
have jinxed me for the next race.
Are you not on the double?
Of course I'm not on the double. I like the fav in that race, and for a long way I thought I had you cooked, and then all of a sudden Hryhorskyj comes up. I can't wait to get the quote from Tom Bellamy on that, by the way, because
There's a lot left in the tank, I thought.
he was a
Proof this
strong
stuff on
traveller,
the
wasn't he?
trip.
He was green when he went for it. Kingy loves these sort of work in progress horses, doesn't he? I'm trying to think where that
Big
might
time,
go.
haven't you?
Could that
Step
go
on
to
the
the
trip.
Leamington Spa?
Mountain Spa.
Which is
that's
which
where
is
my
Albert
brother
Bartlett
used to
trial,
live,
isn't it?
yeah.
Anyway, look, good horses can win that race. We're back to Weatherby soon. We
Oh,
must
so
go
I
to
need
Ascot
to
now.
do something actually. Shout out to Tony Wilders. He's not really watching. It's his birthday today. That's my dad.
Is
So-
it? Oh,
Aw.
okay. All right. Happy
Many happy
birthday.
returns. Sorry I couldn't be there. I was
Happy
actually I was
birthday to
booked
the
in.
sire of Wilders.
Exactly, yeah. Geezer,
Not to answer for.
The geezer looks like Greg Davis. If anyone's interested.
You went for a Derby winner and you got a plater. It's how it's worked. All right, but many happy
He won't get
returns.
that gag. He doesn't like racing. so-
Doesn't he?
Nah.
All right, okay. You really have disappointed.
Anyway,
me.
just killed 30 seconds there.
Let's go back to Ascot. And can you believe that Any Harm Asking isn't favourite here? Nat says it's one of her favourites of the day. We saw some other people out there in social world that were suggesting it was the one to be on. We know that John Joe loves this race as well. He's strong in the market, Marc, but nowhere near as much as Broomfield Berg.
Yeah, I was just looking at this race here. Bloomberg, it's very strong on it, around 11 to 4, 3.95. I personally think this one's too short. It's around 9 to 2. I think the Henderson Yard have had a slow start with a 7% strike rate. John Joe's obviously went for the other one, Any Harm in Asking. Stable won the race last year, Soaring Glory. Of the top two, I think Bloomfield is far too short. Disappointed the last twice. I personally think it could be a mental issue here. Doesn't find a lot, doesn't like a battle. I think this is really competitive. So what we're going to do is we're going to place Lay, the favourite, in the next race. Ascot, Bloomfield Berg. I think this one's too short. I think and he's still shorting up as well. So we'll lay this one in the 3-place market. 1.79. We'll lay it for 25. 1975 liability. I just think this is a competitive race. Just mentally, I think there's something wrong with this one. It just doesn't find. Stable's not firing either at the moment.
Let's hope that Keely's not tuning in right now, because this is one of his bets.
Oh,
of the day.
Keely likes him, does he?
Likes him a lot.
Yeah, I agree with the geezer.
You do. So
Yeah, I mean,
we love head-to-heads here, strong opinions.
He's had his prep run, hasn't he? Decent run in the Silver Trophy. I think he's a little bit better over 2 miles. Best RPRs over that trip. I mean, only a few starts ago, he went off favourite for the Betfair Hurdle, didn't he? And he's rated, £4 lower. And then I think there's a good engine in there. I think he's well handicapped at 130. And it's his second run after wind surgery, so if he can put it all together, then with all the market seems to think he will, because he was about 6-1 yesterday.
I think they've got the wrong JP horse here, the market.
Please.
Call of the Wild.
Please.
This is a very good horse. This is a very good horse. Alan King, who of course we just saw with a big prize winner at Weatherby, has got a 50% strike rate in this race. He's won it with lots of Fiddux and Elgin, and this is basically the road towards, it's either the Greatwood or it is the most valuable handicaps that go on, Betfair Hurdle, that sort of thing. He's a 5-year-old, this chap. When he ran at Aintree, at Cheltenham, in April, he cruised into the home straight. He just didn't quite get up the hill over further. He drops back here. I think the ground will be in his favour. I'm surprised he's as big as he is, because it looks like the firm are backing Broomfield Berg.
Maybe that's the idea.
Maybe.
He's a bluff.
I love it.
Bloom.
Very strong on him.
Broomfield Berg is the bluff.
Is that 3.4?
You think John Joe will win this, don't you?
Short,
This is
isn't he?
ridiculous.
He's too
price.
short, isn't he?
You like any Armour's asking?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do think with Broomfield Berg, the argument for, I get it, second run after wind up, it can be a positive thing. And actually, that Chepstow, we didn't really get the smoothest of runs, but I like any harm in asking. It wasn't 165, I apologise, he's bought for €145,000, but it's still plenty. If you owned this 5-year-old getaway, you would seriously want a hell of a lot more.
6-1 on the Betfair Exchange. I mean, this thing's showing up even more, and they've gambled this off the board the last twice, this favourite. And it's
He's a money horse for them.
he's a hype horse, isn't he? You've got to take them on.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like him at all.
Yeah,
You don't like any
value's
harm?
gone, isn't it?
No, I don't like Broomfield Berg.
Oh, right.
He was
Any Armour's
way,
asking,
like.
I think, is the danger.
Do you know what's nice about any harm in asking is he's got really high cruising speed, and actually he travels beautifully in his races. I really like that.
He's got a really nice profile, progressive as well. I think he should be favourite here.
I just think he's a late maturer. I'm not joking. He's a 5-year-old. I just think he's late maturing.
We're about to find out, because off they go, and the socials are coming up. In they go.
Oh, we're off now.
Highway 121 for the informed stable of Chris Gordon. He's flying, isn't he? He's got a novice hurdler expected to win later on the card. And he's in front for you, Andy. Good luck then as they come over the first. They're going to right off pace thanks to him, which is great. Cot Mask, who's also don't know a lot about for the Moors.
Little error
in
from
second.
Wilders there.
You what?
Little error from your boy Wild there.
What, Call of the Wild?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this is going to be an experience.
Unlucky.
I'm not sure. Yeah, watch him out the back. He's a bit sweaty and he's a bit keen as well, which I don't like to see. Magistrato for connections, of course, of Samareve. Of course, it's Johnny De La Haye, isn't it? I wish you better luck with them, but he's had a wind up and he's very keen out the back for Lorcan Williams. Looking for some others, Hacker de Place, which is a sort of bit more progressive horse of Nichols. Angus Chalada, good to see him back in the saddle. Washington, Tom Park, editor of the Big Jump Off, told me this is the best handicap horse in training.
That's just a ridiculous claim.
Well,
isn't it?
Parky will be watching this very intently
let's
right now.
see it substantiated.
And I'll tell you who is going well, catching my eye, Nat Green, is any harm in asking, although he's got around about 10 lengths to find with the runner.
Yeah, no, I agree, but it's, I don't worry at this stage with John Joe O'Neill Jr. I just think tucking him in, keeping plenty of cover. They're pretty well bunched up together, aren't they? There's been a few sketchy jumps from some of them. Who was that one then? The black with that was been jumping a little bit sketchy. Is
Favourite
that
6-4 and running here. He's very keen. Doesn't find a lot.
But they love a horse that sits in 4th or 5th, and he's on the inside, isn't he?
He's very keen. I mean, I think you've got to be laying this and running here. He's too short.
James Bone, of course, the lucky recipient today if you're on Broomfield Berg.
Played a whole lot.
Who have we got? Who's this? Galore Descessence again. We're going to have to get
Favourites.
used to these. Broomfield's gone.
Oh,
And he's really so. Look,
Dave,
Broomfield's
that was
absolutely gone there, and it doesn't look good for Broomfield Berg. Unfortunately, he absolutely crashed out, and the
Someone
Nigel
else
Hall
get
course
pulled off.
got
Sake.
badly hampered. Oh, I'll tell you what drama so far at Ascot. We're on the far side. Mark, what's that done to the market?
I don't like laying the ones when that happens. I had a really bad fall. Any harm in asking 4-1 and running now. Highway 102, 7-2 in front.
We've got a bit of a breakaway, guys, haven't we? Because 3 have gone clear. Cotmask as well, and Hacker de Place as well. And then you've got a chasing pack as well. Again, just keep your eyes on Call of the Wild. Whether today's the day or not, he's a good horse going forward. And Any Harm in Asking is now warming up.
Yeah, I'm pleased actually where Any Harm Asking is. Just sort of saying, just getting a bit more prominent now, getting a bit more into the thick of it.
One's going back with Zealous Taniaka. Again,
Yeah, that's jumped a bit sketchy, that horse.
that's a Venetia horse, of course.
Yeah,
She's
it's
got
just
a big
been a
player
little
coming up
bit
in the next
sketchy.
race.
Highway 102 stays. Gavin Sheen uncontested lead, very dangerous from the
Yes.
front. He's
point.
trailing around 11-4 right now. The outsider, under Angus Chileda.
Strange tactics this on the Kingy horse, because he's a horse that ran over farther last time. They're giving a lot to do, haven't they? And again, these front three have stolen the mask on him, basically. In Highway 121, Andy Sim, you're starting to get a little bit jiggy now. He's evens, Marc.
He's going to be difficult to stop here.
Long way home off this bend if you've gone too soon. Look at Call of the Wild. He's such a talented horse. I'll tell you what, okay, any harm in asking them, basically, is absolutely gone. He's blown out.
I think Gavin's nicked it.
I'll tell you what, if you were held up in this race, you stood no chance.
Gavin's
Highway 121 is going
Hacker
nicely.
to Places, I think, is looking really nice.
Oh, this is a massive eye catcher, this JP horse. Today is not the day. I'm hoping he gets into the top three. He might yet still do it. But Highway 121 and Hacker to Place, they've always been up there, basically, this horse. I'll tell you what, I think I might just get third. And this is a make all, basically, in a race where some jockeys need to question themselves, I think, a little bit. Was today the day, you'll be asking yourselves? Let's see exactly what this was worth today. 32 grand. Basically, you can now go, if you've had a run, and run for around about 80 grand. And you have to ask yourself whether some were really off there today. I think I got third there on Call of the Wild. But that was a strange race to watch again, and well done if you were on Gav Sheehan. Chris Gordon has had a great start to the season, as Andy Sim told us, and has made all a very tasty price there, Marc. Odds on as soon as he went turn for home.
Yeah, he was trading around 6-4, BSP 909. Obviously, Broomville Burr was obviously fell. You don't want to be seeing that. He went as low as 6-4, and he went off 3.26 BSP. But Gavin Sheehan, Highway 102, sort of nicked it from the front, uncontested leads. And as you say, it was all over, coming around the bench to about 1.8, 1.9. But yes, obviously not scenes you want to see.
No,
we're not sure. Yeah, it didn't look good for Broomfield Berg, I'm afraid.
No.
We'll get word from the track about that. Again, the three took it up. Three pretty much stayed there. Copmaskers run well, just went out of gas coming to the last. Hacker de Place, 138. Marc looks pretty high that for me, but was fit and ran well.
I'm not sure that fifth Washington is the best handicapped horse in training itself.
You're calling out Tom Park there.
Why do people make such massive shouts like that?
Well, because they believe it.
No, I mean, it sort of like drums up a bit of hype.
Because they believe it.
I'm not sure I like
Tell
that.
me I'm wrong that I am
Wentz.
on a decent project here with Call of the Wild. Tell me I'm wrong. Convince me that there's not a big pot in
I wouldn't
that horse.
want to. I wouldn't want to, mate.
Which race at Cheltenham?
He's not tried to put him in the race there, has he, whatsoever?
Which race
What,
at
you
Cheltenham?
think he's not trying?
I'm suggesting that a stiff 2 miles in a very valuable pot, we're going to see a different animal there.
Greatwood Hurdle. Is he going to get into that?
Is he in it?
Oh,
That's the
so
question.
many
The
in
entry
that.
result.
That Hacker to Places has got the Greatwood
is in the
entry.
Greatwood.
Yeah.
Go on, have a bit of that 12-1. That'll get bigger, actually.
This
probably.
is the narrative now. We see it, don't we? We talk about on the flat. We love those straight track Ascot handicaps. These are the same. They're very valuable, these 2 mile hurdles. And the one at the Christmas meeting, it's usually Betfair, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it still is Betfair, actually.
Yeah,
He basically sponsor everything else out there at that time. So, look, it's a very, very valuable race. And he's won it, like I say, just stick with that project of Kingies. Today was not the day. The market told us, though, and well done if you went with the more solid, had a run, Highway 1 or 2. With 2 races down at Ascot, we must go back to Weatherby for the 225 because Lucy Wadham very nearly somehow took out the first race despite horse doing everything wrong on the first circuit. Will she be doing it with the now fav? Marc Hryhorskyj.
Hryhorskyj. It's actually Alan King's Nina the Terrier is now favourite on the Betfair Exchange, 3.2. Molly Ollie's Wishes is quite weak. Definitely been a bit of a move here, and obviously Alan King had that winner earlier, a bit more market confidence. They can't really split them. Hryhorskyj's 3.4. I mean, Molly's Ollie's Wishes was around 11-8, 5-4 on the Betfair Sportsbook yesterday, and I was doing my notes. I still think she's the one to be on. Won the race last year, was impressive. This is competitive though. Alan King's horses are running well. She's unbeaten in her last 5 races against the 6. Even I've had in my notes here, 11-8 is a fair price. She's 3.4, around 9-4 on the Betfair Exchange right now. I think the C is interesting, uncontested lead, but has a bit to find on ratings. Could set it up for Hryhorskyj if they go hard with Molly's Ollie's Wishes. But what we're going to do is we're going to back Molly's Ollie's Wishes just to win. I think 3.35 is a big price. They can split them on the Betfair Exchange, but I think she's the value of a £25 win. The knockout 58.75. I think that's a fair price. I'll probably have it in around 6-4 on my book.
Are we surprised that last year's winner is not fav here, Robbie Wilders?
Not really, because Martello Sky is a good horse, and she's only 6. I think she seems like she's been around a long time, but I think there's room for a bit more. Molly's Wishes. I think Nina the Terror is plenty short, to be honest. I mean, her and C the C are identically rated, And I think Nina is probably a 2.5 miler. See the C for me is probably the only out and out 2.5 miler apart from the outsider. She would have finished second to So Royal last time. She didn't get the second last wrong. So Royal was much better than
Is this the Wilders selection?
Yeah, I think she's. I've already gone in. Yeah, I think she's value out and out 2 miler. You know, we're talking about like horses who are going to be ready. You know, this horse will be ready. This is a sort of cup final. I mean, there's no doubt there are more talented mares there. The big two are, but I think she's value. Yeah, I could see her nicking it from the front.
That's the thing, isn't it? We could see Highway 121 coming up.
The only front runner, yeah.
Yeah, the only front runner. You'd imagine that Molly Alder's Wishes will be trying to keep in her company on that. Martello Sky's just a horse I really like a lot. Do you like Nina the Terrier as well?
Yeah, Martello Sky is so likeable. I'd defy anyone to say that she's not. She's beautifully bred by Marteline. Yeah, gorgeous, likes nice bit of cut in the ground, so I wouldn't put anyone off Martello Sky. But I'm going to go for Nina the Terrier in this. I'm not going to change my mind. Those 2 seconds, like, that second at Chepstow, I can never say it properly. Sonagino.
Yeah.
When
the highly progressive Nichols winner.
When that went back to Chepstow, that won by like 13 lengths. That put a huge margin. Yeah, but that's smart. That's got obviously a good claim in the Greatwood, and I think that form was probably better than we first thought. Nina the Terrier, yeah, I just think she just. When I first looked at it, I thought it was just sneaking under the radar, but now looking at the prices, she's obviously not. But I'm not going to jump ship.
OK, so Nina for you.
Yeah, we've got fitness on her side. Yeah.
The mares, we've got around about 9 minutes to this race, guys, so let's get the Betfair trade on first of all. What was it again, Mark, if you haven't done it already?
You've got Molly Ollie's Wishes, back this one, £25 win, 3.3. I think that's a good price. I've priced her up around 6 to 4 when I did my book. But obviously, seeing the money for Nina the Terrier is obviously something to take note of, and Steve have had a winner. I think it's a very competitive race. I think what CDC does is going to play a big role here as well. Maybe set it up.
She just shouldn't be ahead of the market of either Molly Ollie's Wishes and Martello Sky. The one thing I will say about Nina the Terrier, I think Kingy thought that she was going to be a better horse than she's proven to be so far. She had a couple of heavy falls from memory.
Yeah, that's fair, but.
She was going to. I think was it Sandown?
I don't think she deserves a rate. Like, she's never run to an RPR big and 128, and she's off 131.
I think she's a Newbury when she had the fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Place Leah or Winley?
Yeah, what? Yeah, both potentially.
She's.
I mean, I think C2C, who's nearly 4 times the price. I think that's a bit strange.
Al Parks joins us. G'day. He's from down under, of course. Had an ordinary day on the punt here in Melbourne. Big weekend down there, of course.
Yeah, they've done a brilliant job at promotion, haven't they?
Derby Day,
brilliant. I want to go and work up there.
Did you see Frankie was doing a load of chatting down there this week? He's gone down there, hasn't he?
I've been following Nick Luck and Chaska. They're really good at promoting it.
We've got Lee Mottershead down there at the moment.
When we go out there?
Listen, you know me. If I had
Rich
another...
and Julie.
Listen,
Ollie and Phil.
It's a matter of time before I get back down
Rich
there.
and Julie.
Judy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's Judy. I know. She's a past.
We could co-host down there. They'd love you down there. No, absolutely would. So you had an ordinary day on the punt down there. Dig me out, please. So you had the Derby Day down there, the Eagle. Jamie Spencer went down there, of course, to write light infantry.
Yes.
Who a lot of people were spitting at the telly.
This isn't the easiest race to dig him out of, though.
Well, I'll have a little bit on Martello Sky. That's my selection here. I think she should be favourite. I think Bryony will win this. I think Cheltenham isn't. I don't know. March isn't really her bag, really. She's a Cheltenham winner. She beat Indefatigable, of course, there in December last year. And more to the point, she's 1-1-1 whenever she returns. This is Keels' nap, of course, of the day today. Paul Keely and the Sizzlers. I'm not sure about Broomfield Berg, by the way, guys. I'm still waiting for something on that, but we're fearing the worst, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I didn't too many somersaults and.
It's never a good sign when the fella's head's on the floor after, is it?
No,
let's get that image out of our heads.
No, it didn't look good. Yeah, all right. So Molly Ollie's Wish is surprisingly easy to back here, and chatting with some people so far. I mean, I haven't really been looking at it that closely, but a lot of people saying the Skeletons might have hit the ground a bit quicker running.
A lot of them haven't been finishing the races, but you'd imagine this one would be primed.
Which is unlike Dan, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's like out the blocks, isn't he? Quick.
That would be my only concern, but
it's
then
not like they're not having winners, by the way.
That's factored into the price now, 3.15.
Did you see Picard at Chepstow in the week? He looked like finally he was going to put his act together, didn't he? Looked pretty good. I think they have 3 winners this week, but we are, running to form on the Racing Post website 36. That's, when you look at Donald McCain's 65.
You just never know. Also, it's a weird time of year. Like, honestly, the coats are turning, and they can just show those horrible little symptoms of cold and acorns are falling and autumn's been warm, and it can be a strange time of year for horses, this can.
It's great to have Al watching us, though, down under. And I've seen some people from Dubai as well and all that sort of thing. Let us know when you are. And you're right, Al. The night is young. Just to let you know, after race 1 on the chase track, the going was changed to good in places, good to soft. We'll let you know.
At Ascot.
Apparently, Goshen didn't like the going, Gary's saying. So that's what I'm saying. He's been routine tested because he's.
I mean,
he
I think there's
wants
other
the soft.
excuses there.
There might well be, but
Yeah,
there
I mean,
was.
that is one, isn't it? That is one.
And
but
Jamie
there
said
are.
he was never going.
What,
So
he doesn't like...
there is an
He doesn't
excuse
like
out
good to
there.
soft.
He just wants it much softer, basically.
I mean, he hacked up on. He's probably best run last season at Sandown.
Here we go, look. There we go. Here we go. Brilliant. Now they're earning their corn. Look at this. Probably not cut out to be a chase, this is Gary. One more run over fences in soft ground to find out. This is why Gary's one of the best in the business, because a lot of people wouldn't bother going out and telling you that sort of thing. He's just been in the game so long, hasn't he? He's gonna. What's the problem? He's always been so good with the journalists.
That's why we like Goshen. It's like, that sort of flat out, quite quick, skips through the air, and then when you're going to put the big fences in front of him, that sort of slows him up, takes a bit more. Stops him.
Exactly,
takes a bit more energy out of him. Whereas Cobbler's Dreams, like, come on.
And I'll tell you what, he's a horse that social media just is infatuated with. Absolutely.
He's a cash machine.
Goshen. To you, he is.
He's a cash machine.
You love him, don't you?
Lay him in the place, lay him in the
Equine
win.
lane machine.
Penny for G-Rod's thoughts. Absolutely loves the fella.
He does.
Can't hear him at the moment.
No, we'll be seeing G-Rod back on the show soon. Don't worry about
Big
that.
bear. Miss the bear.
Big bear. He is a big cuddly bear.
So
isn't he?
cuddly. You could just wrap him up and just poke him.
I mean,
Poke him like this. Hello.
I'll say that to him in my praise, I reckon. You're just a big
coming up soon,
You're
that,
a big
isn't it?
cuddly bear, aren't you, Rodders?
He's just lovely, isn't he?
just don't poke him. But we do like to poke the bear, of course. All right, loads of you watching out there this afternoon. Welcome along. We're going back to Weatherby very shortly. We've got a really good little mares hurdle coming up. The mares division at the moment, I don't know, how strong is it? Marie's Rock, the fact she took out the mares hurdle at Cheltenham and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, she was a handicapper before the spring, wasn't she? So
I hear what you're
don't
saying,
think
but
that strong.
it's vitally important because we've got to give credit to our sales at the moment. We are mustard. We are dominating the world with our sales. We just go off
there's
the
a
charts.
first.
Everyone wants to buy our horses, so we've got to have these good races for these good mares. Then we've got to put them to the good sires. Then we have great progeny. And this is good. That's why we have to see these mares.
How we've missed you.
It's very important. A good mare.
A good mare
Good
talking
mare.
about the strong mares. There's a good card of Galway today, which we can see kicking off there. Let us know if you fancy
It's a
anything
cavalry charge, isn't it? At Galway. Isn't it?
I love jump racing at Galway. Who
You've
doesn't?
been to Galway, have you, Dave?
Yeah, I have.
Have you? Did you
I
have
have.
fun?
Ballybrit.
Yeah,
Lots
as
of
they
fun.
call it.
A lot of fun. You've never been?
No, not been, mate. No,
Have you
I've
been to Ireland?
been Punchtown a few times.
Yeah,
have you?
I've never been to Galway. I'd love to go.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it'd be
'cause
good, man.
you're not often seen on track,
I didn't really go primarily for the racing. It's more
just
like
went on a bit of a
nights out
jolly.
in Dublin, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Copperface Jacks.
Chasing girls.
Yeah, I've been there before, yeah.
We going
Maybe.
chasing girls.
Maybe.
I reckon you're chasing girls.
Andy
Many years
Sim,
ago.
who of course is on a quick double, is going for C the C as well. Rob, you'll be pleased to hear.
Is he? Andy
Yeah.
Sim, top man.
Much. And I'll tell you what, looking at how they went in that first race, going from the front at Weatherby today is not such a bad thing. I'm going to try and look at the time from that first race. Marc, while I'm doing that, perhaps you can give us a market update on 2:25, which is coming up. I'll tell you what, just before we do that, what do we make of Willie Mullins? Because, I mean, we're sort of waiting around now for this race, aren't we? If Willie had his way, this would have been off 15 minutes ago. If you don't know what we're talking about, Willie Mullins, the all-conquering champion Irish trainer, came out in the week and said, I think that racing should have shorter gaps between races because it can be a bit boring.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, would the people not agree? Is that controversial?
No, it's good to be
Yeah, you're just
controversial.
waiting around for ages. But at the end, ultimately, when you're at the track, you are there for more than just watching the racing, aren't you? Like, you're chatting to your mates in between and stuff. And the time does fly to a certain extent. But if you're on your own, it's probably a bit boring, isn't it?
Has a knock-on effect, though, from like betting turnover as well, because it's not just that meeting, the television.
Yeah,
as well.
well, I
Because a lot
mean,
of that money
yeah.
goes back into racing, and people won't be able to get a bet on after each race. You need to have that gap.
I personally find the gap is like, if I'm race day presenting, by the time I've walked from broadcast office to get the best turned out, I don't find
You'd have a nightmare if it was 20 minutes between
There's
races.
no break because you are literally
Yeah.
then the horses are coming into the paddock, then
It's
they're
a
getting
great idea in theory, but the practical side of it is just, it's nearly, I wouldn't say impossible, but, you know, and also, you know, we wouldn't be able to hear from the likes of Nat on track going up to connections because they'd be having, I mean,
there'd be
jockeys
no
would probably love
time.
it.
35 minutes I know can be a bit
What was he
laborious, but 30
proposing, like
minutes.
20? Was he?
I don't know if there was an actual time.
Let's name a number, Willie. If you're watching, just comment on the.
I don't imagine it actually was, but what I will say is that we sort of get it. We want to speed it up a bit. Like, you know, a lot of people, for a golf fan, they always talked about like speed up the game. You know, it's so slow and things like that.
On the flat,
cricket's the same, isn't it?
Oh, but Dave, the world's so fast. We need a bit of slow things. Everything's so fast all the time.
I quite like time in between the races. I mean, I was talking to Paul Kelly about this yesterday. He was like, I'm one of those people that goes to the bar and likes to have a couple of drinks.
You do. You want to go and get another
he?
drink, don't you? And you want to go and get your bet on. Then you want to go and see them in the preliminary area. Then you want to see them in the parade ring.
Yeah, I suppose. Mate, you talked me round, actually.
Yeah.
Willie Mullins, you're wrong.
But you like the idea that we can. I mean, innovation is exactly what we want, isn't it? But
yeah, I mean, this sport isn't by any means like where it should be, is it? There's too much going on.
You can't have split screens again.
Can't keep
you
up
cannot
with-
show the derby on a split. You cannot. You cannot. It should be illegal.
It can't be like 12 meetings in a day.
Irish racing staying on RTV.
Look at Boxing
Big news
Day.
of the week as well.
Why can't they
wasn't
make it 2 channels? Right, I don't understand. Is it just money? Why can't you have 2
I'm pretty certain it is just
You can't have
money.
split screens. Just have 2 channels. Other sports have
that'd
it.
be better, yeah.
I had a few
Absolutely.
chats to this.
Other sports have
with
2
people that know
channels.
about these platforms. I've got a feeling it's
Why are we so
rather expensive.
tight? Well, spend the money because split screen and we hit the derby. What a mess.
Well, talking about slowing down the world, the first race at Weatherby that we covered, 150, was 17 seconds slow, and they didn't go a bad gallop in that. So it's fair to say whatever rain they have had, and there have been a few morning showers, might just have got in up at Yorkshire. So all right, so if you are thinking about the Charlie Hall, and again, I've not seen any tips on Charlie Hall yet. Are you Brain Bands gaming it? Are you a Hryhorskyj with Robbie on Sam Brown? Are you Eldorado Allen? Or something completely
It's not a
left
2-horse
field?
race, mate, that's for sure. It's a proper 5-horse race.
I saw your preview headline in the paper today and I quite liked
Quite
it.
good, wasn't it? Yeah.
What was it? What did it
Quite
actually
a good piece,
say?
I thought. I said, I wrote this headline myself, actually.
Yeah.
I said why the Charlie Hall is so much more than a rematch between a Hryhorskyj and Brave Man's game. I think it's actually short now. It's
Quite long.
I was going
That's
to
quite
say,
long.
you,
That's
you
quite a long
definitely didn't
time.
write yourself because that wasn't the headline.
I was out of breath for actually saying that. No,
There's
but I
only
mean,
22
that's
characters
the
in our
crux of
headlines.
it. The crux of it is, yeah, don't underestimate the other horses in the race. Yeah.
All right, okay. Well, Neil France is bringing it back to the Willie debate and says, Willie, spot on. Yeah,
Hear,
okay,
hear.
Neil. So you think that the races should...
If you're sat watching racing, I get it. If you're going racing, I don't get it. Does that make sense?
It's a nice angle, yeah. I
If
agree.
you're sat watching it, you're like, oh God, I've got to wait for the next race, but I'm gonna make a cup of tea. But if you're at the race course,
Oh, in a couple of
But
months.
you need far fewer meetings, wouldn't you, to implement that as well?
Yeah.
Like because it's like
They're
on a
off at Weatherby,
it's on a-
guys.
Oh, it's off.
We can go on and on
On a
and on.
Saturday, it's
Let's
constant.
let that
Yeah.
debate rage because we've got to go on. The one
They're
thing
not-
you won't want to be seeing here,
They're not giving
Wilders,
C2C,
is that
a
C2C
free
is
leader,
not
though.
getting an easy time of it. So
Nah.
jockeys have done their homework, especially Bryony Frost and Hryhorskyj doesn't always go this hard early.
I'm surprised this one's usually held up, Hryhorskyj. Very, very prominent.
She's a strong traveller, Molly Hollis
Yeah.
Wishes.
You're-
Big class drop for Molly Hollis Wishes
Yeah.
as well. I personally would have had her fav, but Hryhorskyj would have, next best for sure. Nina the Terrier, who likes these sort of small, tricky fields. She's got a good turn of foot on good ground. And of course, the outsider
She's
of
zippy.
the lot
Quite keen,
is
isn't she?
Island
Molly's always
Mehi
keen.
for Stuart
very keen, yeah.
Crawford.
Really keen.
So C2C and Peter Kavanagh taking the ride today. Again, even on a day like this, Brian Hughes didn't get the ride, does he? He's up at air today. So we've got that debate coming again. I've seen a few people rear their heads about that in the week on racing Twitter. And, a lot of people saying, why isn't the champion jockey, riding at these big days? And he's up at air
He's
today,
numbers
isn't he?
man, isn't he?
He's just obsessed with the
Yeah,
winners.
very
I
well.
suppose.
Good luck to him.
But C2C
Just a
now
list, great.
goes on in front. Now they've adopted their positions, Marc Hryhorskyj. We've jumped 3. What are we looking at on the exchange?
Hryhorskyj favourite, 3.15, around 9-4. They can't really split them though. Nina the Terrier, 3.2. Molly's Ollie's 3.3. Island Mahi's actually shortened up from BSP. It's around 25s. It was 32 Betfair SP. But yeah, listen, I thought Hryhorskyj was probably going to sit in behind here, but Bryony's obviously changing the tactics. It's probably going to have a negative effect on Molly's Ollie's Wishes here. I was hoping Harry could potentially get first run. She's very keen. I'm not really happy with the way that one's travelling, if I'm being honest with you.
Who, Molly Hollis?
Yeah,
Well,
yes,
she thinks
too
she's a bit
keen.
too exuberant.
Too keen, yeah. And I think Hryhorskyj's a better steer. So Bryony's got this one in the right spot, in my opinion.
So, Mark, if you were, obviously you have played her now, would you be looking to get out now in running?
Potentially, yeah. Or at least lay my stake off. I think Hryhorskyj would be the one I want to be on because it stays.
She's unbeaten first time out, and she just clipped the top of that Molly Hollis Wishes as well. But C2C is not getting her own way out in front. You're all of a sudden livid.
Yeah, well, I'm not livid, so I don't really ever get angry, mate. But it's not ideal. Yeah, it's not quite how I anticipated the race going.
Nat, what about Nina?
I get it.
I just want to win, and I haven't won the last 2, so just like.
And she came in holding this trophy, saying,
I'm
"This is
just
staying
getting
with
a
me
bit.
today, boys."
I'm just getting a bit cheesed off.
Why hasn't Marc got the trophy already?
Well, absolutely.
I know.
It's going over that way. Don't worry about it.
Lane.
He's sitting
I'll
there
pinch
dormantly
it.
at the
I'll pinch
moment.
it, see the
I'll tell you
seals
what,
on
guys, we've got a right race on our hands here. What's the exchange saying, Marc? Because they're going at it quite some way out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ollies versus Martello-Sky, can't split them 6-4 the pair.
Yeah.
They must have been respecting C quite a bit because they've absolutely broken her up
God,
front.
she's
haven't
likeable, this
She's
Martello
going backwards
Sky.
now, so
isn't
big
she?
2 in the market,
Yeah.
going clear. And Martello at the moment, she got the second
Go
in
on,
the first
Nina.
race, bidding to go one better. Now, Nina the Terrier is still
Come
trying
on,
to get
you
onto
little
them. Have they
frisky
gone
thing.
too soon is the question, Robbie Wilders.
Possibly, which working.
Nah, I think they all stay a bit further, so I think they're suited to this stamina.
Nina
test.
is picking them up. I
Come
think
on,
Molly
Nina.
is just finding, she just looks caught.
Come on,
between
Nina,
two.
you for God's
Nina's
sake.
gone. She clipped the top of it. She's straight up to her feet. What a dramatic day we've had so far.
Darn it.
The jump season's back. Now, Molly Ollis wishes he stays further. He's coming back. There's hardly anything between them in the market.
Martello.
And at the moment, that's. I tell you what, Martello Sky's still doing it. What is it? Well, actually, we can't quite split them. It's all on the last here, Nat. What do you reckon?
I love Martello. What is not to like about her? Go on, Bryony, keep her going.
She
Keep her
darted it
interesting.
as well, but Harry Skelton kitchen sinking
Oh,
it
Dave!
on Molly on his wishes,
Molly.
and it looks like she's just going to outstay her, doesn't it? Martello's
Come
coming
on,
back.
Martello,
I tell you
fight!
what a brave effort from Bryony, but Harry Skelton
Harry, keep it
has
going.
just managed to do
There we
it.
go.
Marc Hryhorskyj at Weatherby. That's the sequence today, isn't it? And Harry Skelton, you could tell, loved that back-to-back wins in the race. She was weak in the market. Didn't put you off.
Yeah, big price, 3.32, Betfair SP 9-4. I thought that was a good ride by Bryony Frost. Obviously, she switched on with the pace angle. This one did go short though. It's traded very, very short and running there. It done at 1.12, nearly 10s on for £459. No excuses.
When was that, do you think, coming to the last?
Yeah, listen, she was 5s on.
Short before the last, isn't it?
5s on and coming to the last. But again, it was. This one stays, and I think Molly's always she was very keen. I mean, I think the winner was very, very game there. Could have chucked it. And obviously, looking at the skeleton runners later on, you can sort of put that to bed. And Nina Terrier had a bad fall, but at least up, which is a good thing.
Yeah, she had it was quite clean actually. She just.
They got a fancied horse in the last at Weatherby today, haven't they, on its handicap debut? I forget the name of it now, but in the Langer Dan colours, and something tells me that'll harden up as we go. We'll go back to Ascot shortly, but look, we're now starting the road for these mares, aren't we? This won't be the last time that these two lock horns, will it?
No, it won't. No, look, God, you've got to like both of them, haven't you?
Where would Nina have finished?
It's been interesting.
Welcome
It would have
back.
been interesting because she's got a right little.
This is a brutal
She's
studio
quite
at times.
tenacious, isn't she, that Nina? She's got a bit about her. She just really clipped the top and just took a tumble. But
It reminded me of
frustrating for
Newbury.
me.
That I said she had a couple of falls last year.
You did.
It was just one that she had because
Maybe
I just
a
keep
little bit
remembering of
because
that.
she's quite quick and rapid at everything, and she didn't quite get her legs together, and you can't make those mistakes. Would she have
Because
won?
she was out of her,
Probably not.
she was out of her comfort
Yeah.
zone because they just got the run on her, didn't they?
And that's why I headed when she was quite keen. And, anyway, I'm not having the best of days, but anyway, I'm very pleased for Molly Ollis.
Look, we're about halfway.
Time
It's
to turn
all
it round.
good.
Yeah.
Haven't we missed?
Going to have
the
an even worse
competitive
day when you
streak
give me a
of
tenner
Natalie
later because.
I've worked with you
now.
before.
say.
Oh my
I thought it was
God.
100.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was 100 actually.
And
Let's
can't
get some
afford
decorum
100.
back. It's all going crazy in here because you can tell the jumps is back. And isn't it just marvellous? We get time to talk in between the races. The drama, we've seen a faller. Have we seen a faller in every single race so far?
Yes.
I think we have, haven't we? Dan the man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A beautiful ride there from Harry. Really attacked those last two hurdles and got the best out of Molly. That is what the former champion jockey does so well, isn't it? He is a bit of a kitchen sinker.
He does also have that thing of how well he knows the horses. Let's be honest. He rides for his brother. Like, it's nice to really know them. You have jockeys that have never even, I speak to jockeys all the time. How's it going to go? Oh, I don't know, I've never ridden it. Obviously, never ridden it. So it's quite nice that they really get to know their horses.
And they are super bullish. Do you remember the Greatwood Hurdle celebrations day? Of course, West Cork, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I love it when Dan Skelton
He
celebrates.
literally, the
Yeah,
veins
I do.
are out on the
I
side of
do.
his head, aren't they? Yep.
He's like, go on, my
Hey,
son.
West Cork, you see that?
Yes.
I would mark up the second as well, Hryhorskyj. I think that ran very well.
She had to
gorgeous.
work hard early, didn't she, to see the C off.
She is gorgeous. She'll have.
Well,
She can't be that big. I thought Bryony looked quite big on her.
It's all on Sam Brown later, baby. So
She's probably small, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she'll improve a lot for
Let's
that.
go back to Berkshire, people, where the sun continues to shine. A glorious day to be racing there. The tweed is out, but there's still an Indian summer vibe about, isn't there? I think, don't forget the clocks go back this evening. Extra hour in bed for you. But that means the jumpers are. It's Breeders' Cup next weekend, Down Royal meeting. Then what have we got? The Paddy Power Open meeting. We're covering every single day for you at Cheltenham. The Friday, the Saturday and the Sunday. Then we'll be going, of course, to what people know as that great meeting at Newbury. What was it called? The Coral Gold Cup now?
Coral Gold Cup.
We're all fine, all right, because I want to call it Coral Trophy and it's... Yeah,
That is the one that I'm on about. That's what Hryhorskyj is going to win.
You think we're going to reference that today, don't you?
Hryhorskyj is going to win the Coral Gold Cup today. It's just going to be a lovely preparation.
I mean, the market would suggest you're balmy.
I know.
But
I
anyway,
am.
We'll get to that. Yes, indeed. T-1 out, by the way, to the big one. Charlie Hall coming up. And one of the plunges of the day goes in the next at Ascot. Before I go to Marc about that, who's on a sort of like...
Four so far.
Oh, no, he said that with a bit of confidence. You needed it after Blade as well, didn't you?
So I get 2 points for that. 1 to 25 shot out of 3.
You're having a great day, mate.
You
You're
are.
having a great day.
you can come more often, mate.
Was Molly Ollis in the multi?
In the back. Nah, but we've got another one here.
Well, wait, if you don't mind. You're jumping the gun. I know you're a man full of confidence.
We've got
and
Sam
all you want to do is
Davis.
chat at the
We've
moment.
got Sam Davis next in the multi.
Is that
10 to
right?
1, yeah.
Oh, all right, before midnight coming up then. Oh, wow.
Fair.
Okay. All right, but before we do a little bit of news from Ascot, I'm afraid Broomfield Berg, it was bad as we feared. And, that's the last we're going to see him, unfortunately. It was a terrible, terrible fall. And commiserations to connections out there because he was a talented horse for all that he was being called a few names. And they obviously fancied him strongly today. And he won't be going home to Seven Barrows tonight, sadly. And some more timing news from Ascot. Do you want the time of that race at Ascot?
Yeah.
It was fast.
Really?
Whoa. Stop the clock. Hang on a sec. By how much, you ask? It was fast by just under a second, which you don't often see in a jumps race. 0.95 seconds fast. I mean, I'll be checking that. On the chase course, they did upgrade it with good in places. It was slow by 4 seconds. If you think that Gamble Road was nearly walking at the end there, you know, there's pretty lively ground at Ascot, I think, this afternoon.
Gavin Sheehan wasn't hard on the winner, was he? He wasn't hard on the winner. That's really impressive how he won on 2.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we need to sort of look back at him a little bit because he's had 20 races under rules. That would be a career best for him, for sure. But don't rule him out, basically. I don't know if he'll go for the Great because he's more of a flat tracker, isn't he? I remember in his early career, he was Kempton and Aintree and things like that.
I think the handicapper will give him for that.
He'll be coming back there at Christmas, I would imagine. But they weren't on the ground too deep. They're always going to get at least 7, isn't he?
Need to stretch. Let's
A
get
little
a
stretch.
back,
Come
sore
on.
bum.
Come on. Is
Wriggle
it
in.
warming up now for the next?
I'm going to
All right.
win now.
A 2-mile chase coming up then. Who's going to love this quick round the best? Marc Hryhorskyj.
Yeah, obviously a lot of talk about Gumball here. Big market mover. I know Keel's keen on this one. Fergal O'Brien, Paddy Brennan. Of course, in distance form, made all back November 2019. I mean, the flat run around here, obviously looks promising. Stables runners are going well. It's just his jumping that puts me off. Often chucks in a bad mistake. He could easily win this and trade 20, 25 to 1 in running here. He tends not to back up his flat form over jumps as well. Bad slip at Nottingham on the flat in April. Like, I think he's too short again. I mean, he's 5.1. When I priced up, he was around adamant about 9s, 10s. So what we're going to do is we're going to place Lay Gumball in the place market, the free place market. I mean, he's an even money shot. I think even money the field is a decent bet here. I think this is a competitive race. It's not an egg and spoon race. We'll have a £25 lane, the free place market, £26.50. I think that's a fair bet at the price. I'd probably have it around maybe, honestly, probably about 2 to 1 to place here in the free. I mean, this is competitive. His jumping puts me off massively. He's too short.
Who?
Gumball. Bad jumper.
I agree.
Fav. I thought you were going to make your case for the Sam Thomas.
Yep.
The Sam's horse here.
I backed him in each way. I think he's solid. Obviously got the 3 places.
You're going to place Lay Gumball as well?
Place Lay Gumball on the exchange, and we've got before midnight in the lucky. Sam Davis on board. Stable are going well, Sam Thomas.
He's having an unbelievable day, Marc, isn't he? And he's going to play Slay the favourite.
Yeah, I think he'll get beat.
I'll tell you what, Kills is one of the people responsible for this plunge on this sort of thing, but Tom Siegel as well has put him up in the price-wise.
It's the price, Dave, isn't it?
Well.
The price. He's the wrong price. He's too short now. If you
Well,
got on his 16s, fair, but he's not. It's not a full
Yeah,
range.
because because Keels' point is he's a stone lower than when he's
And he
was
comes in
originally
off a
as
good run on the flat,
yeah,
doesn't he?
So that's Keels' point. I get that, but
And Paddy Brennan will be
jumping,
relishing this ride. It's the sort of
jumping
challenge he
on
wants. But he might not go off fav. And 2020 says, nap of the daytime, Nassalam, of course, who won the Goshen race of the 150 on this card last year. Tune out there as well, didn't he? It looks like he's going to go off favourite here, guys. Anyone like Nassalam?
Yeah, me please.
Oh, finally.
I mean, this horse is very consistent, to be fair. I mean, he's never finished out the first two, apart from when he was down the field in the Fred Winter. But, I mean, you're talking about a Grade 2 win. I know he's quite lucky when he won that Newbury Grade 2.
Yeah, it was a really eventful race, wasn't it?
Yeah, what was it? Miller's Bank went down.
Yeah.
And another. Yeah, I like him. I mean,
Pick Dory was the
he's
one.
only
wasn't
5 as well.
You could go forward here, take on Gumball for the lead.
But it's Jamie
Yeah.
Moore, isn't it? He
Quite
loves the
possibly,
game,
yeah.
doesn't he?
I mean,
Puts Gumball's jumping under pressure. That one could
Do
capitulate
we
quite
remember
soon.
this race last year? It was one of the moments of the winter here in this studio when Kate Tracy and her fella, Kieran Gethins. Kieran's, I think, had a spill, so he can't ride Monsieur Lecoq. But Monsieur Lecoq looked like he had it. I think he went 101, didn't he, famously? And Kate's put her arms up in the air, go on, Kieran! And Amula Gold, the course specialist, goes and picks him up. Controversially, that was revised later on appeal. But we like...
Really like Monsieur Lecoq. The blinkers are going to be.
We know what you like with innuendos,
Yeah,
Nat, so I'm
excited.
dreading asking you about this. It's a terrible name, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Don't put Lecoq. It just I'm such a child.
What
But
do you
it's
mean,
the blinkers.
Mr. I mean,
Mr. the
do it.
Chicken, man.
Ah,
Do you not
Monsieur
know French?
Chicken.
No? Coq au vin. no?
Monsieur.
Monsieur Lecoq.
Or
Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm
ya?
only teasing a
Do
little
ya?
bit. My worry about this is the ground. Kill slightly put me off this, but last year it was a little bit wetter, wasn't
yeah, but I
it? We're
thought
watching
that-
it now. Look,
I
he's won
thought
the
that-
race.
I thought the
Yeah.
same with Ferrabam, but I wouldn't
Look at
worry
this.
too much about the ground.
I thought it was a nice comeback at Chepstow, and I think this would have been the plan. What is he this time around? That's the question. 1, 3, 2.
Ferrero Bamboo, though, that's a really good horse. Again, it just might need.
It's competitive this year. I mean, even one of the
He's
outsiders.
£2 lower.
Daily Tiger's a big price, ex-Gigginstown.
I just
It's a
think
40
the-
chance.
Oh, yeah, he used to be quite a good.
40
horse.
Daily
to 1.
Tiger.
40 to 1 first time out.
For Laura Mongan.
Yeah, 40 to 1.
Morgan,
It's overpriced.
sorry.
No, the thing with Monsieur Lecoq is this has been laid out, isn't it? That's why you mean £2 lower.
Yeah,
This is a complete plan.
If
It's
we'd
been
just
laid
had a
out.
bit more
Yeah.
rain, he should be half the price. Hugh Masson, there's a name. Hugh, welcome back. You've just been saving yourself for the winter. Says, keen on the Moolah Gold, top 3 places, 2.5. You'll be loving the fact that the Skeletons took out the last race at Weatherby. Then nothing like a bit of momentum and confidence, isn't there, when a stable's on a high? Loads of pace on here. That's the key with him. And he loves Ascot. He's a strange horse, this, because getting tailed off on the halfway stage at Ascot over 2 miles is not the thing to do. There could be trecky fences, and let's find out who's going to lead then. Good luck whichever way you play in the 240 at Ascot. We've seen some drama so far. Nice and straightforward, please, out there.
There we go.
And Nassalam up there with Before Midnight. I was lucky enough to speak to Sam Thomas yesterday, and he basically said it's the Marc. We're not sure. But he won first time out last year. He wasn't great there, actually. And Monsieur Lecoq is now able to take his measure for the lead.
He's very keen, Dave. But
We wondered whether Nassalam would try and have an eyeball of it as well. Hugh Masson's absolutely loving this, and he's called it just right, hasn't he? Because they are tussling.
we need to calm down a bit, Dave.
They're absolutely, everyone's been shouting that for a year now.
We need to calm down, but it's all right. We're still going to win. So don't you worry.
I love it. Keep the confidence. Absolutely. It's a long way to go. They're just getting into their
Long way to go.
rhythm.
Oh, no, Dave. We're not doing well, Dave.
Oh.
Dave, we were too keen. We weren't
Mr.
concentrating.
the Chicken is gone.
Dave, the chicken has. I think he'll be all right. Actually,
Throw that cup
hopefully.
out the
Roosters have come to
studio, will
that.
you?
Oh, nice. You think you love the puns
That's
now,
why
don't
you
you?
put me on, mate.
Of course,
Oh, nice
absolutely.
Oh, there's a
all right,
few
Nassalam
free.
went
Gonna need
right
you
out to his right
You're
there.
going to need to stop doing that, Nassalam, yeah?
Daily tie. Look at Moolah Gold. So he's already running in snatches last year's sort of winner before he got disqualified. Time White was also thought it might be more money for. Fancy for a grand annual by Nichols until the ground went. And Gumball, the gamble of
Perfect
the
spot.
day potentially on the inside in fourth, Marc Hryhorskyj.
Yeah, he's 3.45. He's got the box seat here. He's went off BSP 1.82 for the 3 place market here. And I was happy to leave and money, but he's got no excuses from there. Nassalam very keen before midnight, obviously taking that one on. The one that is going quite well is the outsider, Daily Tiger, and Adam Wedge. Obviously, first time out after moving from Gigginstown. Got an interest with
One
Nassalam
of those
jumping out
dispersal
outside.
horses, wasn't they?
Quite
What happened
messy,
there?
this.
Yeah.
Pleased to say Monsieur Lecoq is up. He's just legged it.
Yeah.
Great. The chicken is going to go home to roost. That's
I'm
good.
gonna hop onto Ferrero Bamboo.
All right, you can do that.
I'm
part
not
of the
liking
game.
what I'm seeing from Naslam here.
Yeah,
jumping all.
Amula goals must be going huge, wasn't he? No, he's not. Again, the exchange, no,
tens,
don't they?
yeah, tens and
Despite
running,
the
yeah.
fact he's going under, and again, this is a Bridget ride, isn't it, Bridge Andrews?
Yeah.
She knows this horse like the back of her hand. Daily Tiger is warming up a
She's
bit.
only been back about a week, hasn't she, as well?
Yeah, she has indeed. But again, the slow jump there. I mean, come on, now it goes finally out to about 33-1, that horse.
Time Hill stays. He's in the perfect
So
spot.
Jamie Moore has had to switch right from the inside to the outside because Naslam continually goes to his right. He wants to go back to Newbury, basically. Gumball made his error there. What has that done to the market, Marc?
9-2 in running from 2-1. Time Hill is absolutely tanking here.
But Frero
Tanking.
coming into it, Venetia Williams, she always comes late onto the scene with the jump season, but her horses tend to just hit the road.
He's a good horse, this, Frero Bambi. He's pretty tough as well. I spoke to Charlie Deutsch just last week, and he is so excited to get going. I know we associate softer ground a lot, but look, it's safe ground, it's jumping ground. Don't be too put off.
Yeah, and one of the stories of the season, Charlie Deutsch last year, wasn't he? Of course, long press.
Of course he was, long press.
And he just about picks up in front there. Now, Sam Twisted Dave's not panicking just yet. Time White is the one that's stalking Wilders.
Cruising.
Yes, I'm just looking at my horse here.
Nassalam.
Nearly off the side of the screen.
I'm not ruling him
Keeps
out.
jumping.
Ruling him out, but
Can you win a race at this speed going out to the right? We're about to find out. He keeps doing it. At least he's got him in the
lost his
right place.
position.
I'll
and
tell
he's
you
still
what.
travelling well enough.
It's fair to say he was primed to run a big race, whatever happens here
Going out
today.
to the
I
left.
think Gumball looks beat here. I think Gumball's.
He's
Who's going out to the left?
He's going
sorry.
out to the left.
He's going, I've got my left
Not
and
the
right.
right,
sorry.
you nugget.
Yeah, I have to go, hang on a minute.
The horse
you're
is
right.
going to the left.
He is going
coming
out.
now.
All right, now Gumball's coming. Paddy Brennan, I'm telling you, he will be absolutely loving this at the
Not
moment.
sure.
Time White's the cruiser, isn't he?
Yeah, he's cruising. He's favourite running 5-4. If you get very keen, depends what he finds.
Nassalam's being made to pay for going out to the left. Got that absolutely right. Look at Time White on the inside. Come on,
Gets out of a
Lorcan.
win.
He deserves this Lorcan as well, doesn't he, after
Yeah.
that first race? Sit.
Oh, my little
Frero
bamboo's finding the
it.
ground a
Just
bit
need
too.
Gumball.
Does
to get
look
the
like
free.
Sam Thomas was right about the handicap, but this is absolute Cruiseville,
Cantering,
isn't
yeah,
it?
cantering.
He just needs... I'll tell you what, 103
Whoa.
before that. Oh, my Lord. Oh, he goes out to the right. He
Go
does
on,
everything right
Charlie!
before that. Charlie Deutsch is
Go on,
coming
Charlie
back. Nat's
boy!
trying to scream it home, but I'm afraid second place, his first
tries,
place loser
he
for them.
tries.
Time White.
Bolted up.
Diego
Handicaps.
de Charmille was a non-runner in the week. Yesterday, I think Paul called it. That was the fancied runner. He's still taking it out with Time White. A young horse on good ground, over fences, with clearly more to come.
Massive price, BSP 12.5. It's absolutely tanking coming round the bend. The penalty is found plenty, 9-1 on the sportsbook. Gumball out the 3 as well, so there's another place lane we got before midnight in the Lucky. So another profitable race there. We're flying today, but winner, Time White, very impressive.
Yeah.
Look, the winner, 2-3 out, absolutely cantering.
I'll tell you
Very
what,
nice.
you're doing a fine deputising job at the moment, young man.
Yeah.
The drone pilot is on target so far for us. He's got a big following out there. Now we know why. The multi is still on the move. Oh, these 2 mile handicap chases, they're just... Again, we're going to see them all taking each other on.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Frero Bamboo next time because when it gets a bit more of a slog, he's a nimble, little, economical horse. He'd be great in the mud. Be fab.
He's a yeah,
Tough,
absolutely.
very tough.
He won at that
Bolted
Lingfield
up, hasn't
meeting,
he?
didn't he?
Brilliant.
And now
He
very
ran better
valuable
than
Lingfield meeting.
really nice performance. Venetia will be delighted with that, I bet. And he really can wing it when he wants to.
And it's not quite as stiff as you might think.
I'd be getting those blinkers straight off Monsieur Lecoq. It
It's
turned
far
it
too
into a
clean.
psycho because it was just like...
And it shows you knowing your horses. Dave Noonan hadn't ridden before, and it was probably miscommunication,
They
wasn't
weren't
it? Yeah.
in any sort of rhythm. The blinkers lit the horse up. It wasn't concentrating. It made a right hash of it, and you can't get away with it.
One has to think he'd have fallen in the hole. They will be going the other way. Well, no, hang on a minute. They'll be definitely going back to Newbury, won't they, with Nassalam? He did not like that at all.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I still think he's on a fair mark, but his test didn't really suit, did it?
No.
First time out as well. Like, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
long old season, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Well,
He
it
should beat
is.
that
don't
far.
give up on horses.
He's not be that far,
Yeah, I guess
considering how
not.
much he was giving away
Yeah.
each fence. He's not be that
true.
far.
All right, time to draw breath here on Motor Post Live this afternoon. Myself, Dave Orton, joined by Nat Green, Robbie Wilders and Marc Hryhorskyj. Knocking it out the park so far. The Injured Jockeys Fund, absolutely loving it for the charity. We are. We're playing every single race. You don't have to. Okay, it's safe gambling, 100%. Responsible all the way, please. Early days in the jump season. I really fancy Call of the Wild in the 205. I backed it each way. I just got my money. But today was clearly not the day. We're learning as we go. We're seeing the form lines get up. Learning about horses. And you're right, Frero Bamboo will be a notebook horse 100% today, because getting back on some softer ground, stiffer finish, he wins, right?
100%. Oh, I've got 2 more notebook horses that I was meant to say. when we talked about Fergal O'Brien earlier, I just forgot to say you've got to put go to war on your tracker.
Is this Paddock watching yesterday?
It won the bumper yesterday, but it was
Uttoxeter.
Flipping gorgeous, great big chest. Sally, Fergal's partner, obviously thinks a lot of it. I would just have go to war in your tracker because that's what we want to look out for, don't we? Oh yeah, Fingal. Can't remember. It's
not Fingal Bay.
Fingal Bridge for Ollie Murphy, second in the bumper. Massive, big, strong horse, terribly good looking. Those two were real eye catchers yesterday.
All right, there you go. What about jumps horses to follow? We're still early days. We'd like to keep hearing more of these. Your jumps horse to follow of last year runs in 45 minutes' time in the Charlie Hall.
I'm not so bad at my horses to follow.
Who is your top horse to follow this year?
Top?
Come on.
I'm
Let's have the chat. Let's do this. Come on. You told me one, didn't you?
Well, I like Cobbler's Dream.
No, come on, the other one.
Done it ahead?
No. The JP horse that you think might win the Arkle. Come on, have the chat. Come on, let's do this.
I've gone off it, though.
Oh, why is that?
I've talked myself out of John Bon. I decided John Bon was going to win the Arkle. That was it. Nothing else was going to win. And then, I don't know whether he's a bit soft.
Bit weak.
Yeah. Yeah, don't know whether the horse is a bit soft.
You're asking the right man, because he's like literally...
I don't know whether the horse is a bit
sees
soft.
it very black and white, the drone pilot on this one.
Rode Colonial Mustard against John Bond last season. He said...
Lorna
Fowler.
Fowlers.
He said that if he'd went after Colonial Mustard second, he would have beat John Bond.
Colonel Mustard.
Because he made a noise.
Colonial. What's all that about?
Colonial Mustard.
Colonial Mustard.
I was letting it go. I was letting it go.
Barry occasionally pronounces them in the correct... You have to ask Barry about what he's doing. You're literally a chip off the old gaffer's block.
Do you remember how the geezer says Goshen as well? Goshen.
Goshen.
Cash machine, he should be called Goshen.
No, so I've talked
Colonial
myself out of it.
Mustard. Who knew there was such a...
Yeah, so no, I've talked myself out of it because I agree. I think you might have a bit soft.
Canadian mustard.
Colonial.
No good.
I was once in the Sahara and I had this incredible mustard.
I do think he's a bit weak.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the most game sort.
No, so change your mind.
John Bon on the sportsbook. Can you find out the price for the Arkle?
Yeah, I can find out for you.
Yeah, come on, because he probably is fav, isn't he?
So I was very keen.
Where's Constitution Hill going to turn up? Is he going to turn up at Ascot?
Yeah, that's boring, isn't it? Like, chuck him in the fight.
You wanted to see him in the fighting fifth. It's Epatant's race, though, isn't it?
It's a Grade 1 horse. Run him in Grade 1.
Can't wait. I'm there. I love the fact.
Apparently she's summoned really well Epatant as well.
4-1 on the Betfair Sportsbook right now.
And is that fav?
Plenty short.
Yeah, so Gerard's in it around 6-1. General price. It's an interesting one. Shannon.
Shannon.
It's lucky he's knocking him out of the park on the trades, isn't it? Because Sir Stevie Gerrard apparently is going for the Arkle.
There's one in the champion bumper.
Some elocution lessons.
There's one in the bumper that's not ran yet. Well,
if you'd have seen Robbie's face then when you said Sir Gerard, you went,
the horse called Shannon Royale. It's not ran.
He's done that one.
I believe you've got that right.
Well, listen, if you want the card, I'll give you the card.
Yes, please.
Have it, mate.
Not ran yet, Shannon Royale. It's Gordon's bumper horse for John.
Is this the one, is it?
Yeah, 16
How'd you know that?
Do you know what?
How'd you know that?
You know how to play the game, Mark, and you know that social media loves trying to find... The biggest holy grail in racing Twitter land, especially amongst the young ones, is trying to find each season's Cheltenham
We've
bumper
got one
winner.
for you.
Yeah,
Shannon Royal.
25-1, best price available.
On the sportsbook?
Yep.
Where have you got that information from, mate?
Yeah, look, you have that chat in the bear later, all right?
Yeah,
this is
all right,
okay. Right, but we must give Mark the floor because he's having a great day. The place lays are going in. He's knocked out a 22-1 winner of the first race that we covered at Weatherby. It is a Carlsberg type day for you, type man. So come on, what wins the next?
Looking at the Betfair Exchange here, I'm quite surprised with the market here. Obviously, Sporting John 2.9 again looks too short. Indefatigable 8.4. This one was 7-2 on the sportsbook earlier.
He can't say Colonel Mustard. He can't say Sir Gerard, but he's absolutely nailed
right there, isn't he?
Out the park. I was setting him up for that one.
Yeah. Listen,
Sir Gerard.
I think he's
Colonial Mustard.
Because Indefatigable is the one that they can't say. Well done, Mark.
Indefatigable. Yeah, I'm just trolling.
Indefatigable.
Trying to get a bit better on
trolling
this. Yeah, a bit
Indefatigable.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, we've got the penalty though, haven't she?
Last year's winner, but we've just seen back-to-back wings at Weatherby. You know what these things like. There's always a story on these Saturday afternoon in the jump season, and she's got the penalty, but she won the race last year. Molly Hollis Wishes, who won the previous race last year as well, also easy to back. Does anyone like Indefatigable? Let's just put our hands up quickly before Mark does the trade.
Well, you all like Indefatigable?
I'm not suggesting she's going to win, but I love her.
She's nails.
Yeah, Cheltenham Festival winner. What's the trade?
From a pricing perspective, when I was looking at 7-2, I thought she was a fair price. She's 8.6 on the Betfair Exchange right now. She's massively overpriced. I think Sporting John's too short. And obviously you've got Paul Nicholls, 3 winners in the past 10 runnings of this. He's got a 305.
Oh, that's nice.
So strong on the sportsbook overnight. It was around 8 to 1. It's trading around 7 to 2 on the Betfair Exchange right now. So, I mean, there's 2 ways to play this. Do we lay Sporting John in the win? But what we're going to do is we're going to back. Do you know what? I think 2.84 is too short. We'll have the field running for us here at 8 to 15, 4 to 7. That's what we're going to do. We're going to lay this one. Too short for me. I think we've got more than enough running for us here. That's the bet. Sporting John win lay.
Okay, win lay. Right, he's having a great day. I didn't put him up yesterday. This is one of the races where I said if I could. I often say, don't I, during the week, guys, I'm like, if I could be at the bar for one race, this might be it actually, as much as I find it an exciting spectacle. But the nearer he got to 2 to 1, Sporting John, I don't think he should be. I think 2 to 1 is a pretty fair price for him, to be honest.
I think he's the best horse, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to take on Hryhorskyj here. Probably not the sort of thing you want to be doing this afternoon.
I'll certainly back him over me, that's for sure.
Well, 100%. But,
yes. But not in this instance.
But luck is for turning, right?
The drone geezer is wrong.
The drone pilot is wrong. Why?
Great record, fresh Sporting John.
Yeah.
What else?
What about the state?
He should be. He's the best horse in the race.
I don't think he's a 7 to 4 chance. He's probably about 5 to 2.
Brilliant last season.
What do we think about I don't want to say form of Philip Hobbs because that's ridiculous, but what about the win ratio at the moment of Philip Hobbs' yard?
What is it?
It's not great.
Nah. But
it's not great. But he did have a winner. He had a winner in the week at Fakenham, so and all is not lost at the moment. They're having a slower start. Let's have a look at some socials out there. Who's out there? Come and join the party. Who's it going to be? And Will comes back on and says, just got on Shannon Royale. Cheers to the drone pilot.
Oh, it's good.
I hope that wasn't with Betfair. Don't give me any of that.
Sporting John, actually.
No, that means they really fancy it, Will.
Sporting John, actually, pretty unexposed still as well. You know, he raced like 10 times. Like 7 years old. Feels like he's been around for ages.
It was brilliant last season.
Who was?
Sporting John.
He won a handicap off 151.
It would have been very well fancy for the Potemps, wouldn't he? And unfortunately, he didn't make it.
This is a really tricky race, honestly. For Thomas Derby fans had a wind up over the summer. Ollie Murphy has said that he's gone and done a racecourse gallop. He'll be much more finely tuned than previously. He could actually be a little bit lurking under the radar.
Did you speak to Murph about him yesterday?
Only briefly, because yesterday was a funny day. They were elated when Thunder Rock won, but the McNeil family had sadly lost a horse in the second race. It was it was all quite emotional. But I just think Ollie Murphy's done everything he can for Thomas Derby this time. Does that make sense? Everything he can to get him tuned up. But it's not particularly my pick. I think Sporting John's fabulous. And yeah, I can always say this name, and I've got Indefatigable. I can always say it. I can't remember
Very
to say it. Indefatigable. She's nails. I love these tough horses. But why are we not talking enough about the Nicholls horse? Because I've seen this horse race a few times, 300 through 5. It's flipping amazing. Look at its form. It's so consistent.
He wins a lot of races.
He's 4 from 5 over
He is so consistent. 300 through 5. He's gorgeous looking.
This is a prep, though, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not saying he can't win.
100%.
And again, if you heard Paul talking to Barry yesterday
100%.
on Twitter and YouTube, you would have seen, and actually Barry quite a little twinkle in his eye said that Tidal Bay won it back-to-back years before having a crack at a handicap chase. So
I get it, yeah, I get it. He's the biggest. The market's got it spot on here for me. Like he's the biggest danger to Sporting John.
Yeah. I've
This
come
is
around to
just
Sporting
raw
John
talent,
at the
isn't it?
prices.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is like a better race than the one Proshima and Indefatigable competed last season.
Yeah, and of course Thomas Derby was 4th in that. Very talented Thomas Derby, isn't he?
He certainly could be after this wind up and this gallop.
Murph's got a few horses like this. Itchy Feet, you think about Murph, yeah, Ollie Murph.
And how well to do with Itchy Feet, because to be quite honest, it's not a very good jumper. It's not.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He gets he does so
we
well
do a
with
whole
it.
show on why Itchy Feet hasn't won a race for quite a long time. You go back to that Brave Man's form at Haydock last year. He's got to be winning races, hasn't he? But I think
Supreme,
Ollie Murphy for Robbie Wilders out there who doesn't know Murphys.
No, I'm just not heard him called that, mate.
He's quietly confident that he's going to wrong the doubters out there with Itchy Feet.
He
and
will.
He could well do
I'm
it
sure
with
he
Thomas
will.
Derby as well. And I must admit, he is a big prize mark, but they don't. I mean, nothing's a silly rag in this race, is it? Which sums it up.
Yeah, I thought Oscar Elite was. I do like Oscar Elite, but I saw Siegel put him.
Tom Siegel has put him up. Yeah,
Would you have Oscar Elite shorter than Thomas Derby? Probably not.
Certainly not.
Thomas Derby I had in around 11 to 2 on my tissue.
Oscar Elite, it all went wrong for him at the start of last season when he was fancied to beat 300 through 5 at Cheltenham at the November meeting. He was cruising and he came down to that tricky third last. And then they just couldn't quite get him right. But he's had the wind surgery And this will be a horse that Joe is looking to get a big pot out of. And like Native River won this race before going back to the Hennessy.
It's not going to affect his chase mark then, is it?
Cup now. So look, again, goes back to what Nat said, doesn't it? Who's ready today?
Yeah, I get that angle. I mean, it's interesting he's not squandering his hurdles mark as well, because that is quite interesting. He was actually probably my biggest bet at the entire Cheltenham Festival just gone. In the Ultimate Oscar Elite. As a big postman, 66 to 1. Like I honestly think he'd have gone close to winning if he wasn't running from £3 out of the weights.
He is a talented horse.
Yeah, I just this is a grade 2 hurdle, and you got Sporting John, who's not far off.
I said they struggled to get him back, but that day he went wider than anything.
Yeah,
and he bled as well, didn't he? So he's obviously
he keeps bleeding. Like he's done that 3 or 4 times.
But you've got to be careful a little bit with that though, because trainers do not like it when the analysis department pick up the H14s at the stewards, just to get a little insight about how it all works here at the Racing Post. They do not like it when we say it bled from the nose.
But they've not got
hundreds of horses bleed from the nose. You know, it's not like us having nosebleed.
It can just be a pop, just a pop vessel.
I guess it can be misleading.
It's a little bit of a grey area out there, because when you think, some horses are bleeders.
A bleeder internal.
They're different, aren't they? Yeah. So you've got to be a little bit careful with that whenever you pick that up. And just a little bit of advice for you out there. Just be a bit careful with the bleeding thing out there.
It's got to be in America not to worry about that.
Understood. I remember going to the Grand National for the first time and seeing, Lasix was doing Scott Burton did a piece in the front runner, because Chris Cook's been on holiday speaking about is there a correlation with Lasix and all that sort of stuff. I remember going to the Grand National for the first time, and it was when Monty's Pass won. And I can't remember who rode a horse called Chides for Henrietta Knight in the late Hemmings colours. And he came back, which are obviously white, green, and yellow. Yeah. And it came back, it was red. Yeah. He came back, this guy, and he was nearly in tears. And the horse had just bled from the nose. Yeah. But it was all over the jockey. And it was quite a heavy scene,
Don't blow yourself, ideally.
And Hen and everyone were like, no, he's totally fine. He's just got a bit of a nosebleed. And I was honestly, it was a bit of a shocking scene. I'd never seen anything like that before.
They're quite big animals if they bleed or.
The young Irish jockeys that year. It'd be fascinating to look back in your members' clubs and see who the young jockeys Irish was having their first ride in that year. But some of them were coming back in tears. It was such an experience for them.
It's funny you say that. Actually, I was cooking a curry the other day and spilled a load of tomato puree on myself.
You were basically you were whoever was riding chives that day. There you go. Okay, all right.
Well, it is nearly Halloween.
Yeah, all right. The vegan amongst us is showing his true colours, or maybe not.
Vegan?
Yeah, very much so.
Oh God, don't get him started.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I have to have meat every day.
Yeah, same.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I saw someone asking about the state of the ground at Weatherby. And we're back on the hurdles course. Was it Giovanni out there? I know there was an answer, but if you go on to the analysis races on your members club, you will be able to see in the Racing Focus at the top, Tom Bellamy, who won the first race, said basically it's good soft down the back, slightly slower side of good up the straight. So if it's going to get testing, it will be around about 4 out of Weatherby, and then they speed up a little bit in the home straight. What are you guys on about?
I'm just saying, shout out to the Angus family, calling this gentleman to my left the GOAT.
The GOAT.
You're the GOAT.
Greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time. Look at that. Oh, there, look, it's unusual stuff from Marc, the Angus family. The GOAT.
Not unusual.
Unusual, you're getting like me now.
Yeah, usual.
Come on.
Unusual.
He's an unusual fella, to be fair.
Usual stuff, sorry, from Marc. Sorry, my eyes
on this race, Paul Nicholls.
Yeah, I've got a good following.
3 under 5, absolutely smashed. 3.65. 8 to 1 on the Betfair Sports.
And you are, let's get this out of the way for your legion now of followers.
Sporting John was a layer in 2.86.
Look at 3 under through 5 though in pictures. He is a beauty.
He's been smashed. They're queuing up to back this one.
He is so beautiful.
Who are they?
Okay.
I like him.
Indefatigable could be.
I can't make my mind up in this race. Indefatigable, 3 under through 5. I don't know. 3 under through 5 is going to go prominent anyway. Made right at the front there.
All right, well, off we go. I've got a couple of quotes coming from Ascot, from John Hardings at
yeah, a good friend of mine, actually. Shout out to Johners.
Ed is at Ascot for us, and he's sent me a couple of quotes, thankfully, of the last couple of winners, and they're quite refreshing ones as well. But at the moment, they've let him slip 3 under through 5. So Adrian Heskin is thinking, hang on a minute, have I gone a bit too quick? Or have the others done what we saw in the 205 at Ascot and let the front runners go? We will find out. Last year's winner, Indefatigable, sits there in second. Then Sporting John, close up today. Thomas Darby looks full of himself. Oscar Elite is next, and Brashima, very confidently ridden. Last year's third under Harry Skelton, bidding for a quick double. 3 under through 5 then, Marc. He's gone clear. Does that mean he's gone sub 2 to 1 yet?
Yeah, he's 2 to 1 just now. Sporting John's 2.72. But I mean, Adrian Heskin settled this one down nicely. An uncontested lead as well.
He's got a funny way of racing, this guy, hasn't he? He's got a
He's
funny
big.
way.
He's just very.
He put in short there, Nat, did he?
Yeah, he chipped in, and he can't really because of the size of him. He's actually not nippy enough to do that. But he'll learn. It's the first. He needs to calm down a little bit and just.
I hate it when jockeys give horse 8 lengths at the start, unless you back to front runner. But it happens too often.
Irish maiden hurdles.
Yeah.
Go on, he's still chipping in. He's got to.
He's what you call deliberate, basically, and that means that he's having a good think about these hurdles, isn't he?
He's got to jump better than this.
Well, he's obviously now an established
Go
chaser,
on,
isn't
he's
he?
not loving being in front. Actually,
Thomas Darby's going really well behind.
Early days, mate. He'll get found out.
He was called a couple of names.
Slowly.
Even though he was winning last year 300-3-5, he was called a couple of names, and that's because of the way he runs.
Yeah.
And it was, is he green? Is he just a bit ungainly? But honestly, he's 4 from 5 over hurdles. He's potential winner of the new Gold Cup, and he's a really talented horse. I wouldn't be put off by the way he's travelling one bit.
No, he's just warming up, isn't he?
Easy.
He's just
Big
warming
engine.
up.
Seems like the layers.
He's a big unit, Dave. He's just, You want to see him attack them a bit more, though. Just go a bit longer.
See a bit of niggle on Sporting John there already. He's niggling it a little
Yeah.
You're seeing things, mate.
No, I don't know. He sat off in around about 3rd or 4th, and
Nick on
he
it.
just has drifted back a little bit. What's that said in the market then? Because the exchange, they often know, Mark, with the circuit to
That's
go.
it. Bit of tap on the shoulder. He needs to
Sporting John,
concentrate.
2.76, Thunder and 5, 5.2. I think that might have been a bit short.
300 through 5.
What's under and 5?
300 5, yeah, they've got a similar one.
300 through 5 just wants to
305,
go
yeah.
for the bigger fences. He's eyeing them up. He's got no interest in these hurdles. It's hilarious.
I mean, we sort of laugh about the pronunciation of these horses, but in that first novice hurdle, I was looking down and I'm like, hang on, I haven't seen any of these horses for a good 300 days. You do forget them, don't you?
yeah.
We're going to have to get into it. But Oscar Elite warming up a little bit, Rob.
Oh yeah, he's actually, to be fair. Yeah. Good luck.
Would you call him your horse?
Oscar Elite?
Yeah.
He was.
Because you had that massive project in the
I
Ultimate.
put him up 3 points each way in the Ultimate at 66 to 1.
And of course it landed, but does that mean that you now have to keep going with the project, or are you quite cold-hearted
I've
like
abandoned
that?
him this time. No, I mean,
It's just interesting to
my
get into
problem
mind
is
of a tipster.
I think I actually abandon horses too soon. The amount of winners I've had this year that I've given up on them, they've gone in. Like Max Vega.
It's hard to forgive them, isn't it?
You know, like Max Vega, I've always said like he's a massive Newbury horse, and he flopped at Newbury, gave up on him, and wanted to beat Hamish.
Yeah,
And
I think there's a sort of unspecified system out there. The numbers would probably say it rubbish, but how many times out there do you give up on a horse after a bad run, and you look at the results of the day and go, come on?
I might give up on our earlier one. I can remember the name of any harm in asking. I might give up on that horse.
The John Joe.
Pushima's going very well at the back here.
Not
Pushima.
impressed with that.
That wins next time then. All right, Thomas Darby's going really well at the moment.
I might have called this
I'm
one
not
wrong.
totally sure how the fad's
I mean,
going here.
I don't think you want to be on the favourite here. He's been niggling it for about 5
Well,
furlongs.
the day you're having, we shouldn't have touched it with a barge pole, should we? I've got a feeling the winner might be in front here, guys. The market suggested for 300 through 5. Much will depend on his jumping now down the back straight.
I'd be looking at Thomas Darby as well. Honestly, he's looking all right
Well,
here.
Kills could do the change of fortune, I think, and he'd probably get one. And you and him are together on this one. You'll be pleased to hear. Indefatigable, though, she had the warm up. She had the warm up on the flat, didn't she? Indefatigable.
She's tough. I don't worry about her too much where she is.
Yeah.
She can come back.
I think she'll be there till 2 out of lead. Now
Yeah.
Sporting John's maybe
Oi,
just starting to go a
too
bit
close
better.
again.
He
300
got
through
right
5.
into the bottom of that 300 through 5. Again, is that the market suggested out to 9 to 2 now, Mark?
But Harry Skelton's going quite well. I mean, the favourite, Sporting John's 2.42 here.
Why won't you take them on, Dave?
3 under 5's what, 9.4. I think it's between Harry Skelton and the favourite here, Sporting John.
Coleman will be thinking just
Thomas
that.
Darby's
I can't
got a
believe
chance
it.
as
Oh,
well.
I'm going.
Yeah, as well,
Totally
6.8.
agree.
Yeah.
All to play
I
for
mean, they've
then.
all got a chance, haven't they?
I think the favourite's under
Gone very
pressure.
quick.
So this is the testing part of the track out there for you guys. It's about to get quicker now. We've got 3 to jump on this famous sweeping home turn up there at Weatherby.
Come on, Indefatigable.
This
She's
is where
tough.
you don't want to
She's
get off
tough.
the bridle, basically, because they can get first run on you and you're in all sorts of bother. It's a little bit like what we saw with Nina the Terrier in the previous race. Got her
Come
out
on,
of the comfort
girl.
zone.
Look at Harry
Everything's
Skellin.
still in the comfort zone at the moment, guys.
But I don't really want to be on this favourite. It's
Sporting
beat to
John
me.
out to 9 to 4.
It's not over yet, mate.
It's certainly not
Look at
over
Harry
yet.
Skelton. Harry Skelton coming on
Come
the
on,
Adrian
Rex.
Heskin is going to
Yeah,
try and
he's quite
outstay
strong.
them, but
If I was
can he
Rex
jump well
Dingle,
enough?
I'd be going, come on, girlie,
He's quite
come on,
strong.
girlie.
All of a
keep
sudden,
going.
William Darby, Thomas Darby, William Darby, Thomas Darby,
Bark of
all
the
of a
course
sudden
at
now
York.
comes closer. Look at Oscar Elite, he's cruising. Tom Segal might have this right.
Oh, my girl's
He
getting
has
it.
his best jump of the race so far, 300 through 5, when it mattered.
He is travelling
Sporting
well
John
now,
is
to be
feeling the
fair.
pinch a little bit. Looks like he's needing it like a little horse. Look at Prashima coming. Last year's third turn. The moment last year's form coming to the void. Big and bold there. 300 through 5 drops out. Thomas Darby and Nat, could this be it?
Yeah.
You're thinking, hang on a minute. Look at Harry Skelton coming. Look, in one run he's got in him. This is all on the last. 2 going clear.
Come on.
He's going
Winged
to be
it.
second again.
Winged
Look at this.
it.
Prashima, last year's third.
Brilliant.
Absolutely gone at the game. All the rest of us have. This has sprinted clear. Never seen
Wow.
a performance like this from him. And again, the 7-year-old, you have to say that's a career best. And look at that punch to the air. A quick double for the Skeltons. Harry Skelton absolutely loved that. He rode it like it was an absolute good thing. 1 run coming. You're having a day of days, my man.
Yeah, going for the card here. But yeah, coming around the bend was travelling the best. I think Harry Skelton definitely liked that one. But yeah, travelled like an absolute dream. BSP 6.4. I mean, Sporting John, for me, looked beat.
Yeah.
After a mile, and surprisingly, he's went off 3-1. He was trading around even money at the time. I don't know if they were watching a different race. I'm not sure. But yeah, Toshima bolted up Sporting John out to 3, 1.47.
Why didn't we just stick with Team Skelton at Weatherby? How many years do we have to? I'm annoyed with myself.
Thomas Darby ran a big race as well. 14th, massive price.
I'd be well happy with that. Windop's clearly worked. They'll be happy with that.
I
But
just don't
why
know
don't we
where you
stick
get
with
the win out of
Skeltons?
Thomas Darby, because now it starts
No,
to
I
get
don't know
tougher.
why.
That's almost the
Yeah.
easiest of these, sort of staying races, isn't it?
What
You
would
might
you do with the
not.
Nichols runner? If you're in a fight, where would you go after now with that one?
He jumped like a chaser,
Yeah.
and he'll be going to Newbury with a prep run under his belt.
Got to go of the big. He can't go long at those hurdles. He can't work it
big.
out. He's
Quite
too big.
whether-
He just chips into every hurdle. It
Quite
ain't
whether
gonna
he
work.
might have found his level, because he's now up against the big boys, not just over fences, but over hurdles as well. The last time we saw him over hurdles, he was a novice, he was bossing races.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
Yeah.
You'll get the quotes, of course, in your members club at 6 p.m. of all the beating horses. A reminder, if you've been hiding under a rock, Goshen, of course, didn't fire in that 1:30, our first race here at Ascot. Gary says, is he a chaser? One more run on soft ground, we'll find out. All the beating horses. Going back to Ed Harding then, who's at Ascot for us. There's a joke there. John Harding,
that's
our
nice.
roving reporter at Ascot. Very refreshing. 2 horses that were not the C word in the final quotes. Highway 1-1. This was his day, basically. The ground was
Highway
perfect.
1-1.
101, was it? Highway
None of you
101.
can say horse's name.
101.
I think I'm the only fella that's not said horse's name incorrectly today.
Well,
Fella or girl, sorry.
We shall get
Lady.
Have I?
No,
We shall
yeah.
get to that. Oh, quickly
Just now,
corrected
yeah.
yourself. You
Which
didn't get
one?
the panel right there.
He
Okay, so-
did one mid-race.
You tend to
just
do
now.
this. Do you know that
Indefatigable.
Robbie
No,
called
it
the
was,
gym crack the gim crack the
I
other
did,
day?
yeah, to be fair.
So let's not go
No,
there,
you
Rob.
did one because
I haven't.
Let's not go there.
But
But
it's a gym crack, yeah.
Time Hall
Stand by
as
it.
well. Time
Stand
White,
by it.
sorry, not Time Hall. Time White as well. No mention of John. Just right race for him today. Loved the ground. Jumped really, really well. Hopefully come on for that. All right. So we don't know about future targets. It was all about today for those winners, which some people will be absolutely loving.
I could do with a winner.
Well, it gets easy now, doesn't it? Because 2 races left, and we're going to
Gee
the
whizzles.
London Gold Cup. You've missed this game, haven't you? Haven't you, Mark? We must give you this trophy. I
Yeah,
don't think it's coming back to me.
100%. It's
Well,
not.
mate.
I'm nowhere.
Boys, it's about
Let's
time I
get
got
another
this one,
social
yeah.
on screen. Word to Mother says, on this meeting last year, Gary Moore, 2 winners and a second with 1 faller. Getting on fullback, 3:15 at 14-1. It hasn't gone Gary's day and Jamie's day so far, has it? I like this guy. I just really think this is another prep in the making here. I think fullback will be looking towards probably what we now know, that feature race at Newbury that we've mentioned so much. And we're going to, of course. We're now around about 25 minutes away from the Charlie Hall back up at Weatherby as well. And they've been brilliant at Weatherby today.
16.5.
Really, really good.
Your one on the Betfair Exchange right now.
Fullback.
Yeah, big price.
I like him.
16.5.
He's a horse that I like. I thought he was going to show a bit more. I just wonder whether he might need this today in the market, suggesting he will. I'll tell you what, there are some lovely horses in this. I actually quite like the outside of the lot as well. And Regal Encore, isn't it great to see
Oh.
him? Mr. Ascot, right?
Amazing.
Yeah, why are you smiling? You're not backing him, are you?
Yeah, I've backed
I mean, you're
him, yeah.
taking the mickey today.
I've
Don't go that
I've
far.
Backed it, yeah, I've backed
Mate,
Regal
he'd be
Encore.
15 after Christmas.
Ran a massive
what a
race
ledge.
this race last year. Larry took out. But yeah, I think he's overpriced. The 20-1 chance. I've actually fancied 2 in this race, so I may as well just put them up at the moment. So first one, we've got 4 places instead of 3 on the Betfair Sportsbook. So obviously take advantage of that. We've got Major Dundee and the lucky 15 here at 11-2. So we've got 1 winner, 22s, 13-2 place, and waiting on Major Dundee, 11-2 on the Sportsbook for the lucky. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to back Regal Encore on the Betfair Sportsbook right now. Yeah, let's third in this race last year. 14-year-old, always best form around Ascot. £13 lower than last year's race. 25% strike rate. So, listen.
14 years old.
Yeah, run a massive race last year. I think with the age, you take the weight off the back, it sort of levels out. So what we're going to do is we're going to back this one on the sports book, so we get the 4 place instead of 3. got that capability on the Betfair Sportsbook. So what price is he on the Sportsbook? Yeah, there's been a bit of money for him. He was 25s this morning, he's into 14s. So we'll have 12.50 each way at 14s. And obviously we've got Major Dundee already in the each way lucky, which is looking nice. We've got Knockout 235, does the business. So yeah, hoping for a big run.
Major Dundee's the other one.
Yes.
Handicap is giving it a
Quite like the
chance,
way you're
isn't it?
playing this race, because you're kind of looking one that probably this could be his day, and another one that has definitely got more scope to come.
Yeah, I
this which of course would be Major Dundee for my eyes.
I looked at Major Dundee's obviously the young improving horse. Obviously Real Encore is the oldest runner here, 14-year-old, but I think taking the weight off his back, £13, the stable form, 25% strike rate.
Went well for a long way
Yeah,
in that Scottish
loves
National,
Ascot.
didn't he?
I love Hryhorskyj. I think when they get to this age, the key is just looking after them, not over racing them, and they don't. 3 times a season
This is
before.
his race today.
100%.
He just turns out Ascot every time, doesn't he?
Richie
Lovely horse.
absolutely loves him. Those two have got such a gorgeous connection. I wouldn't put anyone off Hryhorskyj. I found this race very difficult. Major Dundee, I mean, it's hard to knock Major Dundee, isn't it? Third in the Scottish National, he's going to stay, there's going to be no stamina issues. Are we missing a trick T-Clipper? If you're going to get him, you want to get him early on in the season, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
If Kitty's Light, probably not the time to say. One I've got is Papa Poutine.
Papa Poutine.
Papa Poutine for the TDs, Twist and Davis's third at Perth. I just wondered, it was well back that day. I just think he's going to come on from it. That was after 152-day break, that Perth. Wasn't the best race in the world, but I just wonder whether that was a good enough
Well, it worked for
prep.
Gamble Road in the first, didn't
Stable form, they're
I
banging.
just wonder whether that was a good enough prep run. Papa Poutine is just sticking out to me, so I have
Same
to give it a good
connections
mention.
this as Gamble Road, isn't
very
it? Of
strong
course.
on the Betfair Exchange. About 16s this morning, 9.6 now.
Yeah,
He's a
fancy
very
it.
strong stayer, so expect him to be up there. I think I wrote
I need a winner, so-
Canton a couple of times. Very consistent horse. I mean, look, Robbie, there's so many horses in this that this is a proper handicap. This isn't
And
it?
Major Dundee's drifted to backward price now, I think.
So that'll do for you and King. He's
Yeah,
having a
I
great
like
day, isn't he?
Major Dundee. Good record, fresh, progressive, novice, in-form, stable.
I'm going to give a mention to a couple of our favourite Kitty's Light is in here, of course. And we chatted about him a little bit off air, didn't we?
Oh,
It's just whether he had such a hard season last year without winning, of course. He was ahead of Major Dundee
He's
in
only
the
6
Scottish
though.
National. Oh, no, absolutely. It's just whether it catches up at some point. And whether Ascot is quite his track.
Yeah.
I think we'll be working
I think
back
I'd
to
agree.
some later
I think
targets
I'd agree.
with
I
him.
think this is, let's just enjoy, he has a good round today, but I do agree. I think Regal Encore, Papa Poutine for me. And
But
like
of course,
I say,
on this day last year, he was placed in the Charlie Hall, that
know.
very eventful Charlie Hall. So
Yeah.
up the straight for Richard Rowe, likes Ascot, could go well. Danny Kerwin, such a talented animal, but will he have it all his own way? I like Mr. Malarkey, I should say. Another pronunciation wrong there for you, Wilders.
Yeah, I thought he's got to be your best each way, Mr.
Tom
Malarkey.
Seagull gone for him
16 to
today.
Got to be your best each way.
This is really competitive. I mean,
He's got course and distance
Stakes-
form. He's
stakes
likely
more
to be
this
up
one.
there. He loved the ground, and Dave Bass should get a really good tune out of him. And this is just his third run for Richard Bandy. And it's probably because he's now with the Bandy stable that he's as big as he is in the market. Good boy, Bobby, for the twist as well. And keep an eye on Rapper through this race. We'll see how he goes, but I think there's a good price in him.
50s on the Betfair Exchange right now.
Yeah,
Back to
I said to
Lamey.
Kills yesterday, I quite like this horse for the season ahead. Henry Daly, of course, could do with a Philip. Poor old Hillcrest is out, isn't he? The massive
Not
Hillcrest.
good.
Oh,
Not ideal, is it?
Oh, all right, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fast and furious. Penultimate race here this afternoon on Racing Post Live. So hope you're enjoying the fair. Let us know you're out there. Like and subscribe and get your shouts in. We'll give you some shouts out before the Charlie Hall, which comes up after this. The London Gold Cup. Often a road to the National for horses here. Who will it be coming up in front? And Sam, of course, has got course and distance form. For Evan Williams, had a welcome winner, I think a timely winner we should call it. A stable that takes its time to get going through the winter. He's awash with sweat, but he is
Yeah.
leading.
Yeah, but
Wet through.
he's all over the show.
Papa Poutine is up there. You'll be very happy to see that. 'Cause like I say, this horse would literally stay 10 miles.
I
Poutine.
am happy, and I want to have a win.
And I'm very happy with Mr. Malarkey. Is Mr. Malarkey, isn't it, up there? Major Dundee looks a little bit keen for me. Regal Encore doing what he always does, Marc, right on the outside. But we're doing 3 fences, a couple of if he jumps out the back. The market gone spiky on anything yet?
No, not really. They're all close around the BSP. Papa Poutine actually shortened up 7.6. It's near enough favouritism. Sam's got that one in a good spot. Major Dundee as well, training 11 to 2. That one went off 8.6 or 15 to 2. Bit keen though, but again, does stay. So no
Well, they're
cards around.
co-favourites for this because Our Power, who's definitely Welsh national for him, Sam Thomas told us, hopefully, along the way, might take in Newbury maybe as well.
So BSP 7.24 hour power, T Clipper 7.37, so they couldn't split them. We're going 6.5 to 1 the field here on Betfair.
The excellent Kevin Morley in his trends column today said Our Power is the only one that fits all the trends. And I told Sam yesterday, because he said, I'm not sure about this. I wish we'd have had a prep run coming here if we were going to try and win the race. But I said, you're going to be backed. And he wasn't so sure about it. So, I don't know, let's find out. Looking for some others in the race. Good boy Bobby hunting out the back. Up the straight, looks like the back marker, and Kitty's unsurprisingly. Not sure about his fences for Kitty. Believe it or not, he's not that big, Kitty. And he is potentially going to get caught out by this. I'm looking for Rapper as well. I'm looking right over horses.
Major Dundee's gone quite well.
He's jumping lovely, isn't he?
He's an exuberant horse, Robbie, isn't he?
Yeah, very much so. He's quite nicely positioned.
Danny Kerwin is the horse that they thought in Irish Points was going to be the best of them all. And he's just jumped his way up to second, isn't he?
Nutcase, that horse.
Yeah, the Doyles thought this was the best. And bearing in mind they've had Appreciate It and horses like this, they thought this was the one. And Johnny Delahaye, of course, paid all that money. And he won that bumper so well on good ground and then bottomed himself at Aintree in the bumper. Hasn't quite looked the same horse since, but he did get it right over fences last season.
Massive Danny Kerwin, isn't he?
He's just...
Massive
at home,
big
they just
stride
think
on
he's a
him.
Rolls Royce.
Look at the stride on him.
Yeah, T-Clipper right in the middle as well. OK, where do you want to be, Robbie Wilders?
Sort of want to be, close enough, I think.
So Papa Poutine, Major Dundee style?
Yeah, Major Dundee. Good boy, Bobby.
Just gave Major Dundee a little shake there.
He wears cheek pieces, Mr. Malarkey, as well. You just see Dave Bass keeping him interested there, and he's just lost a bit of ground going into that.
Doesn't it had a little reminder. I think Kitty's just finding this a bit.
He's the perennial flat spot horse, though, isn't he?
He is.
Tell you, a lot of these will fall at the back of the telly. Real Encore's going quite well in behind here. You'll start picking them up.
I mean, if you
and Richie will know. Richie knows, doesn't he, what he's.
Yeah, he's cantering.
One's really taking interest now is Good Boy Bobby, Marc. I assume that's contracted quite a bit.
8.4 BSP, 18.4, so halved in price already. A lot of these will fall at the back of the telly here.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on Rapper, guys, like I say.
The Major Dundee,
Still happy with my Papa Poutine here. I think Sammy Boy is good
got a lovely
posse,
spot,
getting nice and low in the saddle. So far, I mean, pretty good round of jumping. He's just keeping him really interested there on the inside. Lovely spot, like you say.
These would be the stiffest fences he's come up against.
Yeah.
You can sort of see he's getting into the bottom. He's having to really work to get
Sam's
over him.
getting quite low to come on. He's
been at Perth. He's got a bit of a
yeah.
This
we've got a chance here.
Exeter.
He'll learn a lot from today, Dave.
Yeah.
This horse.
This has got a chance.
Dave Bass, despite the fact Mr. Malarkey get it right, Dave doesn't want to know. He's still keeping him up there. Good boy Bobby there, Our Power there. Rapper starting to warm up. Now Regal Encore starting to come into it. He couldn't, could he? Major Dundee starting to feel the pinch. Going through the back of the pack, but it's still Ansan, the course and distance winner, jumping like a buck up front. He literally looks like a grey. He's covered in so much sweat, isn't he, Ansan?
Richie's going all right here, baby. We've got a chance.
Look at Danny Kerwin taking a pull.
He's just enormous, isn't he? He's just like a cheetah.
Got a
He's
chance.
just eating up the ground, Dave. He just finds it.
Charlie Doy should be thinking to himself, OK, I think I'm sensing a chance here as well. Major Dundee coming back into it, is he?
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was going to just be.
I mean, what are we on?
swallowed
16
Stan
jumps to
Shepherd
20.
and T-Clipper getting into it. Also well fancy for the Lacey's.
Come on,
This is
Richie.
where it gets tricky if you're on a horse that's off the bridle. This is where it gets
Come on,
ugly,
Richie.
guys. We're around about 5 out now, I think, aren't we?
We've got a chance on the
4, I
outside.
think. We've 4 out, but Richie.
We're 4 out now, yeah.
Ronco's just back
3
up
to
a
go.
little bit, do you not think?
He wasn't great there, and Richie McClellan knows him so well. He's kidding him. None going in the back. Then
I think my Papa Poutine's running out of gas a little bit.
I think he's just getting. He just doesn't have an extra gear. I think that.
No,
horse.
I
That's
don't
probably
think
the
I don't
problem.
think he does either.
Mr. Malarkey not turned up today whatsoever. Really disappointing. Now Our Power's coming for it. Good boy, Bobby. They're all in line. Danny Kerwin takes over then. Malcolm Williams will be thinking, I've gone too soon.
He's absolutely. He's just.
This is tanking. Could he have always wanted to be a stayer in the making, this horse? We're about to find out because the cavalry are just about coming. He's got T-Clipper and Our Power charging behind him.
6 to 4, 2 to 1 and 2.
6 to... What price is he going now?
Yeah, he's 15.8 hour power.
They'll be
T-Clipper
thinking about
7
Samareeve, won't he, in the first
Look at
race?
Charlie
and Danny
Boy,
Kerwin, I think he's going to get
Charlie
gubbed here, guys. Our Power looks the one, does he?
Danny
Oh,
Kerwin.
they got tight into that T-Clipper. Danny Kerwin now pulling it out.
I don't think he's going to stop, Danny
Isn't it?
Kerwin.
Oh, we're coming to the last. And what does the market say? Our Power. Oh, he's gone really low, hasn't he?
Our
All
Power's
right.
2 to 1. Danny
T-Clipper
Kerwin,
trying to
2
come
on.
back. This is gruelling stuff
Oh
here.
my
Only
God,
3
Our
mats
Power,
up.
is it?
He's got into the bottom of it as well there, Danny Kerwin.
He's going to get done.
I think Charlie
Out.
Deutsch has
He's
written an
beat-
Charlie's got
absolute
this, hasn't he?
blinder.
He's done.
He thought he'd need the run yesterday on the feature show we did with him in this studio, but Our Power.
Well done, Charlie.
The excellent Kevin Morley told you this was his nap of the day, and he's pulled it out the bag. Great ride, Charlie Deutsch around Ascot
Fabulous.
once again. Danny Kerwin, did he get a little bit lonely in front because he was coming back at the finish? And T Clipper, the one with the fitness in the bag, had run an absolute blinder in third. Only 3 counted there, Marc. Regal Encore never quite did it.
Yeah, listen, he came there challenging. Richie gave him every chance. Maybe age is just catching up with him. Did go quite short though. He's traded half his BSP. He was hitting around 7 to 1s, went off around 20s. Danny Kerwin done it 1 to 3 in running there, which is understandable. He was 2 lengths clear, just got tired for £421. But they knew on Betfair and the exchange coming around the bend. I mean, our power eventual winners not went bigger than 7 to 2 coming up the stretch. He was always had the chance, didn't he, get in there.
Well, if that was a prep run, you can see why they wanted to have a pop at something like a bigger target. Now, the problem is with Welsh National, this horse does like good ground. Very unlikely
Quite a problem at
Chepstow on the 27th of December.
That's probably going to be an issue. But I don't know with this flipping winter. It's autumn. God, who knows anymore, Dave?
The yards flying, Sam Thomas.
Look at Danny Kerwin coming back
at
the finish there. Do you think if Ansab had led him a little bit longer, I think Lorcan would have been happier?
Yeah, maybe held on, maybe hit the front too early.
Yeah.
T Clipper, if you were on him, he just got into the bottom of that second laugh when it mattered most, really. And I don't know whether he's totally putting it all in. This also could do with the one next.
He's been done at 13 to 8 and running for decent money.
Because he cruised up.
Yeah.
What Time White did in the previous race, it looked like he did. We've got to bid farewell now to the Berkshire track. What a day it's been there. Thrills and spills. We've got one more to come.
Yeah.
It was a good race.
Really good.
Yeah, Our Power was the right winner there. That was brilliant. And Danny Kerwin was great. That was really good to watch.
It's clean racing, no fallers.
I like that. Good race.
And ask him if he got a good price after he put us off yesterday. All right, one more to come, and it's the biggie. It is the Charlie Hall Chase. You just check some football scores. Just have a little, just a little breather. Should we have a little breather?
Yeah, how Chelsea getting on?
I don't know how Chelsea getting on.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
2-0 down.
Oh dear, Robbie. Where's Matty Patch?
Loftus-Cheek own goal and Trossard. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to read, mate.
Oh, Potter against his old team. Potter.
That's the first time we've conceded 2 on the pot.
Also
Brentford.
Brighton will be loving the game.
0-0.
Absolutely superb.
How's this happened?
Man City beat Leicester earlier 1-0.
The price are they in running right now, Chelsea? We'll have a go.
Last couple of Premiership games for the weird World Cup that we're about to have. But
Chelsea,
anyway, we digress.
We're the sort of team that's going to get 3.
One more to come from Weatherby as the boys.
That's worrying.
Listen, just bring it back.
Sorry,
bring it back. All right.
It's hard for me.
His producers asked me to throw you that curveball. He's not the kind of guy you can give curveballs to, producers.
Dave Lowe shouting the odds, isn't it?
He loses his mind a little bit. All right. Stick with us then. This is the place to be for the Charlie Hall. We're going to tell you exactly what we think wins the race. Is it just a 2-horse race? Not according to Robbie Wilders in the previews. Not according to Paul Keeley at the start of the week in the Weekender. Marc Hryhorskyj, what is the trade, please, in the final race of the day? The feature race of the day, the Charlie Hall.
I think this is a really tricky race. Got a Hryhorskyj at the top, 2.24 and a 5 to 4 mark. Brave Man's Game, 2 to 1, 305. Eldorado at LN, 7.2, so we're filling 60s. And even Sam Brown as well, 18.5. Obviously, we had the 2 non-runners as well, Win My Wings and Secret Investor, both interesting runners. Win My Wings would have been my place lay selection, because today definitely wouldn't have been the day. Potential Scottish Grand National would have been, or the Grand National Age would have been the target.
She'd have been a big price for that, though.
Yeah, in the place, it would have been a free place lay, maybe get rid of it at 2s. But what we're going to do for the feature race, we're just going to go, no northern bias here, but we're going to go for a straight win in a Hryhorskyj, 2.24. Obviously has that form with Brave Man's Game. I think this one will make all.
Has a Fav won yet at Weatherby? They're waiting for one, aren't they, I think?
Yeah, they're waiting for me to back one.
Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, Molly Ollers did go off favourite in the end.
So what we'll do is
easy to back.
We'll back this one on the exchange, and we'll have a £25 win. I'm quite surprised there's such a price discrepancy between the 2 at the top of the market. I'll probably have them in around 6 to 4, 7 to 4, personally. But we'll have a £25 win on the exchange on Hryhorskyj, 2.24. I do think this looks a cracking race though. £31 liability profit for the day actually. But yeah, listen, it's been a good day. Had a few winners. See if we can just finish on another one.
It's been a very good day.
It's been a good day for him, mate.
You're getting the drinks in the Thirsty Bear after this, my friend. That is
I'm
for
quite
sure.
thirsty.
Yes, indeed. Well, then there's Dom Perignon on Marc tonight. I'm delighted to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Right, let's go to you, Natalie Green, because something tells me you are going... Actually, I'm being told there's a social first. Well, you wind yourself up for this. You know where I'm going with this, right? Sam Davenport. Ooh, seeing the ball big. Biggest bet of the day. Brave Man's Game 2 to 1. Did you think he'd have been that price yesterday? Opened up around about 11 to 8, didn't he, in the 48-hour debt market? Not anymore. I said yesterday to the guys in the office, do you think Hryhorskyj could go off favourite. I thought there was hardly anything between them, Sam. I didn't see him going out like this. Just to get it out of the way, I'm with Sam as well. Nichol's horse is running very, very well. I just think at the prices, you've got to be with him. Now, they're both running off a mark here of 161. Your horse to follow last year was Hryhorskyj. He came into this time last year, and we all know what happened on his return, which is, of course, this weekend last year in that intermediate chase at Carlisle. He jumped terribly, and he unseated when well beaten. He then, of course, went left-handed, and we saw the real deal. He then went, of course, to Kempton, and he got put in his place by Brave Man's Game. And then he went and placed, of course, after winning at Weatherby. I think I'm going to his career right. And then he won at Aintree, didn't he?
He was brilliant at Aintree.
Well, Aintree was when you just had to doff your cap to him.
He was brilliant.
Because other horses had had enough by then, and he just kept going.
In my opinion, which won't be everybody's opinion, which is fine, Hryhorskyj is the best horse in this race. And I'm sticking to that. He will improve. He has just got everything to be the superstar that he will be. I think he gets better and better through the season. How can I say the Charlie Hall is a prep race? I do not mean like that. And it's how can you dilute a race such as the Charlie Hall? If he just goes on his talent, of course, he can be in the 1-2, him between Brave Man's Game. I just personally, truly believe Newbury, the Coral Gold Cup, is the firm target for Hryhorskyj. I think.
I'm coming to Marc in a second.
I'm not sure this is absolutely. I think Hoy gets better the more he races. He's a big horse. He's a big jumper. So today I'm going with Eldorado Allen. I'm going to just say yes.
Okay, so you're with Paul Keeley, who basically, just quickly, Marc, in his weekender column on Tuesday, like Robbie did at the start of the week, knew this would cut up, and will look for the 3 places. You've done it with Sam Brown at a big price. Don't go there quite yet, Rob. I'm going to come to you. Nat and Keels have done it with Eldorado LN. Now, you've got your 7, well, now 6
What were the
runners going to
comments about
post
the
here.
ground at Weatherby?
5 runners, of course.
Is there any ground comments? What is it? What do they change to soften? What's the official?
It's softer on the far side, but it's still fairly lively up the home straight.
Right. Okay.
All right. Okay. So is this the first race over fences they've had there today? I believe it is. So we
Okay,
don't
so that's
100% know, but we're thinking
that's good
it'll
for
be
Brave
enough of a
Man's
test.
Game.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
That's a
Absolutely
positive
right.
for Brave Man's Game then.
It is, and that's why I like him today.
Okay, so it's going to be hard for Eldorado Allen to take on Brave Man's Game, but I'll stick.
Well, look, Eldorado Allen transformed himself into a sustained chaser. It was more sort of Ryan Airy sort of thing. But where's Brave Man's Game going to go this season? I wrote him up as a Ryan Air contender with a big jump off because I think that's probably, if he goes to Cheltenham, probably where he'll go. I don't necessarily think he's a Gold Cup horse.
Definitely not.
No.
Whereas Hryhorskyj probably is the strongest stayer. This can be a tough test, even when the likes of Q-Card won it. You've seen good horses get bottomed in this race on their return. They're both in the Coral Gold Cup, the old Hennessy, for reference, if you're wondering what that is. And they're both off a mark of 161. Where are they sitting on the sportsbook at the moment, Marc Hryhorskyj? Because we've got around about 6 minutes to the race. So just want to get an eye on.
We want to do a Denman with a Hryhorskyj, don't we?
And maybe that's what they're thinking with Brave Man's Game as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the betting just now, slowing it up.
I mean, I've been pointing to you through that when that was on camera.
When we're looking at Brave Man's Game, with the Nichols form, there's 2 bigger price discrepancies here because his horses are in great form right now. And the way the race is going to set up, they could potentially set up for Eldorado Allen and behind because they're both going to go forward. Listen, the bet's on Hryhorskyj, but it's not a race to go mad in. It's more of a spectacle.
What about the sportsbook for the Newbury Showpiece at the end of next month?
Just loading that up for
what
you.
What are they? Is it around about 7s, 8s, or Hryhorskyj? I'm wondering what Brave Man's Game might be for that.
It's
as
not
well.
been priced up.
It's not been priced up. We've got
Hasn't
the King
it?
George, got the Betfair Chase and the Gold Cup as well.
So the King George, Nichols said after he won the Corto Star, which is in Kempton on Boxing Day, before the King George. It's almost like the prep run, isn't it, for next year's King George? He won it so well from Hryhorskyj that day, who didn't jump brilliantly around Kempton. He can be a bit sketchy, Hryhorskyj, can't he?
A bit more raw.
Of the top 2, Rob, which we know you like Sam Brown for this, but of the top 2, which way would you be going?
I don't know, Brave Man's Game wasn't as good at Aintree like his jumping then, but maybe he sort of needs a bit more time between his races. I don't know. He was the better jumper, wasn't he, before that?
Is he an early season horse as well, Brave Man? So
he could, but there's no reason why Brave Man's Game won't run very well. But
it's 4-1 for the King George.
I can't split them, but I don't think either of them are value at all.
You think they're going to set it up for
I think Hryhorskyj is a better horse.
It
racehorse.
definitely could well happen.
Well, the handicapper thinks they're identical to each other on 161 at the moment. Eldorado LN, he's got to give him £3. He's £2 badly off, basically. Sam Brown, who is a talented horse, give us the case for him.
Sam Brown. Yeah. I mean, this horse, right, I've been keeping on the side for a while. I can't believe he's 10. He seems like he's been around for ages, but you know he's got a really good record fresh. He's actually so lightly raced. He's actually raced as many times as Brave Man's Game, and I just blown away by him at Aintree when he beat Shamblou 15 lengths off similar weights. I thought Shamblou was chucked in that day on his Charlie Hall run. You know, Shamblou run off 146. There's 10 lengths back to the third. Sam Brown is now approaching 160. He doesn't have to find too much to.
And that proved he doesn't need it hot deep, doesn't it?
That was what I was going to say as well. Yeah, because that was on good soft. I was so annoyed. I was at a wedding that day, and I watched that race in the reception, and I saw he won at 28-1. I was like, you know, if the ground was soft, I would have been all over him. But I thought it would be too quick. But he obviously handles it. He's been fragile, but it sounds like he's in the form of his life, according to Honeyball's quotes. So, I think there's a lot to like.
And being a 10-year-old, you have to assume they've revved him up for today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's not got too many big days left, surely. But having said that, I still think he can probably improve. I still don't think we've quite seen the best of him.
It's 5-1 for the 2 here.
Well,
I think that's good. I mean, I'm on each way 3 places at the start of the week.
He's a relatively big price now. So if you missed the 3 places, 5-1 for the 2.
Look, I mean, I'm surprised more people aren't talking about him, to be honest.
All right, okay, all right.
If one of the top 2 blow up, you've got a chance, haven't you?
What about you out there?
His first time out form. Yeah. His first time out form. He's got a good record fresh.
Yeah. It's going to be a perler, isn't it?
I could do it.
Hugh Masson comes back on, considering laying Brave Man's Game 2 places at 1.68. I think he'll either win or be stuffed, a bit like Surname. Hang on a minute, Surname won this race. Hugh, what are you on about? You know, he didn't even go off fast.
No, but then he got stuffed. Surname got stuffed when he was terrible at
Kempton.
Thank you. So I agree. I think Brave Man's Game is going to be amazing, like mustard, and we were like, wow.
Steve McGarrett thinks Ahoy Senior's going to win. Steve, good to have you on.
He thinks Ahoy Senior's going to win. Oh no, that's someone else.
Oh, Frizzy Red, I've seen him out there in the chat. Here's your moment. Eldorado and then for me as well for the Tizzards, which again would look like the each way play during the week.
I think Marc made the best, but I think that's why though the case behind Eldorado Allen's obviously great staying chaser. But if Brave Man's Game and Ahoy Senior can't calm themselves down and they start getting real at the front and it turns into a bit of battle, he could just come and swoop in. You know,
we should talk about Paint the Dream as well. The big outsider of the lot has got plenty to find on his best form, but he's still 156 horse this, so he's a very talented animal, and he is more to the point the likely front runner. Does that upset a horse in your side
as well?
Well, Brave Man's Game led in a lot of roads races last year, didn't he? Do you remember at ADOC when Itchy Feet was like, "Come on, then let's see what you got around the home turn," and then he took a lead at Kempton. I think he's better also the lead. Brave Man's Game. He's had the wind up as well, so I don't know. This is an interesting place to start off your campaign.
Fascinating race, yeah.
I think a few of them, Ahoy Senior, Brave Man's Game, Paint the Dream, all go out early on. I think in running, you'd want to be on Sam Brown.
There's the intermediate.
That's how I'd play it if I was betting at home. That's how I'd play it.
This weekend coming up next, there's that good Sunday Sandown meeting. There's that intermediate chase that Henderson likes to win with his his Kempton horses, but you can cut up. And Nichols was saying yesterday with 300 through 5, didn't want to go there and pick up a penalty, because you don't want a penalty. But you do want a prep run in these big handicap chases.
This is what's really important.
So it's a right puzzle this for punters today, isn't it?
Puzzle.
And it's a great race, and we should be confident of going with one. But it's the start of a long season. And they've all got great records fresh. Ahoy Senior beaten last time. Yeah. That's why I just think Brave Man's will be good to go.
I mean, they all look a picture, don't they? God, this is a great race.
Can we agree that Brave Man's Game is the best jumper in this race? I know he's the second season chaser, but he was
not if he jumps like he did at Aintree last time.
I can't remember seeing a novice jump as well as he did.
He was just so brilliant at Kempton and Newbury as well.
Unbelievably.
It's true, but I don't know. Ahoy's got it in him. He's a bit more raw, a bit more.
He's a bit skew-whiff at times.
He can be a bit skew-whiffy, but I think he's got it together a bit more. But I know what you mean. When Brave Man's Game turns it on, you are like, whoa.
Ronnie Front out there says Sam Brown to run a big race. Max Lay, Brave Man's Game, says
we're off.
Ronnie Front also says Ahoy Senior by 5
Ahoy's
lengths.
pretty, he's up for it, Dave.
And Connor Brace, usual regular partner, Paint the Dream, not going to be able to lead because Derek Fox has gone off.
Steady on, boyo.
And he's gone right out to his right there, of course.
He's lively.
To do my left and right.
He's buzzing, he's lively.
Well, no one else knows his horse better than
similar
you.
silks in here.
Marc, this could be good for Eldorado.
I think you want to be on the one.
Eldorado Allen, because these two are going to. Brave Man's Game is a bit more settled, but Ahoy is lively.
I think Sam Brown could be the bet here in running as a saver because they're going to set up for a
Drone spoken.
Well, now there is a duel on for the lead.
Interesting, yeah.
And despite the fact that Derek Fox wanted to lead over the first, Conor Brace has now found his way in front. Now, what is it?
Does he usually get this warm Braveman's game?
No, he
Because
doesn't.
he's very warm. He doesn't normally get this warm, does he? I never
And
normally
let's
see him.
not forget that it was a
I know he
mess
always runs like that,
towards
but-
the end last season for Braveman's game as well. So it is back on. It's now a jigsaw piece being put back together, isn't it? And he is warm. Eldorado Alen, he's full of himself. He's going really well, I'd say. Let's watch them over the
Steady
third
on a
then.
hoist.
This isn't going to help Hryhorskyj's chances here.
I'll tell you what,
He's even money in running.
He was so good there, Braveman's game. Genuinely, another cliche for you through the winter, he is a joy to watch. I tell you what, wow, Senor was brave there.
Gorgeous,
bold.
isn't he? He finds jumping a piece of cake.
He won a point-to-point before joining the Russells at my local track, Kimble. And it's a flat track, and that's why we always thought Cheltenham might be an issue for him. So this is perfect for him. It's like a
He
pancake.
loves it, Hoy.
He's
Over
odds
he
on and
goes.
running 1.945 and running here. Hryhorsky.
And the market was all about him overnight, Mark, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like, I woke up this morning, I'm like, hang on, all change.
I think a few in behind, Braveman's game's going very well. Sam Brown's interesting as well. Eldorado Alen, every chance. Depends if Hryhorsky puts in a mistake. If he can build up a head of steam, keep jumping, he's going to be difficult to beat.
You try not to be biased when you're calling these races, but I could just watch these two old rivals just jump fences all
So
day
could I.
long.
It's just a wonderful...
He's quite keen in front though. He's not getting an uncontested lead. He's getting hampered by the
as
outsider as
a
well.
theme of the afternoon has gone on, Robbie goes quiet during the races because he's put his money where his mouth is quite a bit. How's Sam Brown going?
Yeah, he's going fine, mate. Don't forget, Hryhorsky was moving very well at Carlisle when he fell on his return last season. Don't want to tempt fate.
No, we do not want him to fall, but he's buzzy enough. He's buzzy enough to be picked up.
They are so similar, these two horses, aren't they? They both started against the big boys over fences, and they keep taking each other on. It's a great narrative here domestically, anyway. That's for sure.
I think he's very keen in front. He's very keen.
Hoy,
in
he's
front.
scruffy
Is
there.
he just a bit leery?
Yeah, he's wound up. He's not really listening all the time. He's doing his own thing at the jumps. He's skewing a bit, like we said. Dave, he's jumping to the right.
Yes. But again, he's won here before, isn't he?
Braveman's game is much more settled,
He's
isn't he?
cruising. The Braveman's game
Much
is
more
one-on-one.
settled.
As he's gone on. And they have gone on his pace. Eldorado Alen's done nothing wrong so far.
Oh,
I'd
he's
be really
jumping
happy with him.
brilliantly.
Sam Brown just a little bit slow there, wasn't he? But again, Aidan Coleman, one job, pick up the pieces
I'm not happy
late.
with Hryhorsky.
No, I think a Hryhorsky can get beaten in
I
this.
think he looks vulnerable here.
Eldorado Allen, come on, you're going to
We've got a
win.
new favourite, Mark.
Yeah, listen, he's not got an uncontested lead. He's out to 2-1 now. Braveman's game, 2.3. Eldorado Alen, 5.7. Even the outsider, Paint the Dream, 16s. They don't want a Hryhorsky right now. Is this one just going to fall at the back of the telly? He's out to 5-1 now.
Brave statement with a circuit to go that.
Yeah, Sam Brown's got a chance at the back as well. He stays all day.
Yeah.
Now look at Harry Cobden. Look, he's sensing with a circuit to go. They've been talking about this all the way up to Weatherby today. Him and Nichols in the car, basically. What are we going to do? He's now sensing that maybe Derek Fox isn't overly happy with where he is in the race, and he's now going to say, "Here we are, and I'm going to put some pressure on you." And he's a horse that likes to get on with it, and he's just about going. Robbie, I'm going to come back to you. If you had to be on one now,
Sam Brown.
still Sam Brown
kinda
is
nice.
warming
He's
up.
moving up, mate, I tell you.
Staying.
All right,
I
what's
think
the market saying?
Hryhorsky looks beat to me.
I'll tell you what, Paint the Dream was really good there as well, just reaching a little bit. You can see that Sam Brown is looking like a staying handicapper against sort of Gold Cup horses to my eye, the way he's jumping at the moment.
Braveman's game, 1.8, so I'm 45 and running here.
Stagged it as well, didn't he? In between the fences, I prefer Sam Brown, but Nat?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Braveman's game's cruising a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this.
But I'm not saying Eldorado is out, but Braveman's game's cruising.
He's got a right turn of foot,
Bit
Eldorado.
of a tongue twist if you
Yeah, I know, I'd given up.
Right, we're on the far
I've
side.
always just been a bit exuberant. I expected this. I don't think this is his target.
I think this is
Telling you.
5 out, is it? We're coming to now. This might, if there's a final fence on, it's hard to tell with the head on that we're looking at. But there are 4 fences in the home straight. This is 5 out then. And again, there's
Come on,
sort of the
Sammy
turn
boy.
after this. And
I mean-
Hryhorsky just pulled out off the inside, which is interesting. Eldorado Alen now having his say. Sam Brown the first to get a reminder.
Gone all
Yeah,
right.
he's moving up, though.
Hryhorsky goes back in the pack. And look, he's gone all the way out. Mark called this.
Yeah, he looks beat to me, 9.6. Eldorado Alen, 5.7. They can't really make their mind up here. Nichols is going odds on and going out
Paint
again.
the Dream's gone single figures for the first time. The front runner still
I'll tell
hanging
you,
on
Sam
in there.
Brown's got a chance here, by
Here
the way.
comes
He's
the
going to pick the
brownie
pieces
on
up
the
here.
inside. Look at Robbie on the inside. For me, this is
He's
Brave Man Games to
4.3.
lose. The market thinks so
crazy.
as well.
Come
All
on.
right, Ahoy Senor filling his lungs.
Come on, the Brown.
Can he possibly
Come on,
come
son.
back? Here we go, 4 out then. This can often catch them out.
Brave man's games.
Paint
on,
the
the Brown.
Dream coming
No,
to
you
it.
got
This is
chance.
a
You got
tricky
chance.
fence.
Come on, the Brown.
Brave Man's Game pinged it.
Come on, the Brown.
And again, I'll tell you what,
well,
Sam
mate.
Brown on the inside, we know he's a dow stayer.
Stays all day.
I'll tell you what, Ahoy Senor, too bad to be true. Mark, you got that all wrong.
Come on, Brian.
And at the
he's
moment,
got
this is
that wrong. He's
Braveman's
just been
game.
out-jumped.
Everything is absolutely superb. It's just too quick for them. But will he stay? Sam Brown's trying to blind
gets
a
over
It's not
it,
beat
son.
yet. It's
Two
not beat
out.
yet. Come on.
Pinging it up,
Oh, he
big and
jumped it
bold
too
there he
big.
was, that this is
Jumped
just
it too big.
absolutely all over. Now Harry Cobden gives him an inch of rain, and he is just too good for you as the chant goes. And his worst jump was the last fence. It looks like Eldorado might gub Sam Brown, who basically tried to make Braveman's game work. But if you are on the gravy train, Paul Nicholls wins it again. Braveman's game is back.
Yeah. He didn't really knock out a rhythm, did he? And he just looked like he was cruising pretty much the whole way round, to be honest. He didn't do anything wrong.
It took me to the final race to get one over the line. I can't believe this didn't go off favourite, and that's not after timing, that's just the way it is. Hryhorskyj, too bad to be true, but we saw, again, long season ahead. He was too bad to be true at Carlisle. He went on to win a Grade 1 at the end of the season.
Yeah,
They're just
don't worry
starting
too
off.
much.
Marc, give us the story of the race.
Braveman's game, BSP 306, just around 2-1. If you consider, like I said, the Nicholls form as well, he was a massive price, wasn't he? Hryhorskyj, probably better days ahead for that one. Distress signals were at least a mile out. I think the fact Paint the Dream was going forward, he's very keen on Hryhorskyj as well.
Yeah.
I'd probably put a line through it, see what he does next time out. Braveman's game cruised through. Sam Brown, I've genuinely thought he had a chance.
Yeah, I
to
mean, he hit around 4.3, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a good shout, that, Rob. And
They've got a placement
got the
now.
it's
how
massive.
low did he go?
Got a placement.
I'll check for you just now.
Sam Brown, because that'll be very interesting. Surely they can't be going to Newbury now after that. It's all got to be about going to Kempton now, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, he's went as low as 2-1 for £100. And it did look like he was coming there on the
Yeah.
inside, and you got the free places. So
What I love about
Yeah,
Braveman's
exactly,
game, horses come and have a crack at him.
just keep finding.
He just keeps finding. He must. I can't wait to read the comments coming from Nicholls, and in particular Harry Cobden, who must adore this horse. All right, that's us then. All concluded here. I think the trophy's firmly staying in Betfair's camp because Marc Hryhorskyj has given us a lesson this afternoon. Loads of profit for the Injured Jockeys Fund. Good man.
Yeah, had a good day. Backed a couple of winners, laid a couple of ones that were too short. But yeah, good day's racing. Top it off with Braveman's game, and the big one, very impressive. Nicholls certainly in form. Sam Thomas are the ones you want to keep on side. But yeah, it's been fun.
We're going to see you again soon.
Yeah, I'm going to Paddy Power meeting at Cheltenham with the great man. So I'll maybe send a little selfie or a video to you.
You're going to go with Barry, yeah, because we've got
The
James
great man.
Millman representing Betfair all that week. It was nice to have you back.
Yes.
Doesn't get any easier this game, does it?
No.
It's the start of a long jump season. Don't get too down on yourself. We'd love to having you back.
Yeah,
actually.
no, it's fine. I'll keep going.
You were right about Hryhorskyj, but
Yeah, bang on the money. Place late, that one.
I knew it wasn't really Hryhorskyj's day, but
Are we
Eldorado,
getting on the bumper horse at Ayr?
yeah, done it ahead. Why not? Come on, I'll have a double now with Traprainor and done it ahead. Now we're off air.
Yeah, all right, happy days. All right, Rob, it's been good to have you back as ever.
Good to be back, mate. Yeah, enjoyable, isn't it?
Yeah, well done for Sam Brown. Well done for
Cheers,
Sam Brown.
mate.
It was a good shout. And
Yeah,
that's your MO, isn't
pace
it?
money,
Looking
yeah,
away
it's-
from it. All right, great stuff. All right, it's been great. Dave and Will in the studio done well. Ed on socials as well. Thanks to you all for watching. There were loads of you out there. There's just something about the jumps game of the winter. You come in your masses. This has been Racing Post Live. See you next Saturday.